It's the Dakota Dome in Vermilion, the site of the South Dakota High School Football Championships. I'm Craig Maddock from Sioux Falls Sports Radio, AM 1230 and FM 98.1 KWSN, along with my good friend Mike Henriksen, Sportsmax Radio, and Calling All Sports. And Mike, we've got the 11B championship coming up. St. Thomas More, the Cavaliers, coming out from West River to take on the Parkston Trojans.
Yeah, these two teams met last year in the semifinals. Parkston obviously advancing to the Dakota Dome. Meanwhile, St. Thomas More, they are the only representative from west of the river in the Dome this weekend. And they were on a roll there for a while, Craig. They were regular attendees, but it has been a while since they've made it back. They do not have a state title, and they are looking to take care of that today against a very talented and athletic Parkston team.
St. Thomas More made 4 straight trips to the Dome back in the early 2000s, but this is their 6th trip. 6th trip to the Dome. You're right, Mike. They have not won a title and trying to get that first one here tonight. You know, they made 2 trips to the Dome when they were in Class 11A, and then 4th trip now being in the division of Class 11B. Also, St. Thomas More has the distinction, Mike, of being the only high school in South Dakota to play 9 regular season football games. Everybody else played 8. When everybody else had a bye on their schedule, St. Thomas More went down to Nebraska to play a team down there. And so they played 9 regular season games.
And so we've got Parkston and St. Thomas More ready to kick it off here for the 11B championship. We'll be back to take a look at these teams right after this timeout here on South Dakota Public Broadcasting. Okay, we never heard the open, guys. Got it.
Is Steve ready with Wayne Sullivan?
I can go get him if you need me to right now.
Yeah, let's start with STM.
All right, let's go. All right, I'll have Coach Sullivan. He's on his way. Stand right.
The only coach that has run over to see Steve Toomey.
That's right. He's excited about it.
I'll ask you about your season so far and some of the key players that have carried you this far.
Okay. All right.
And then what do you expect out of Parkston?
All right.
You going to go right to Steve?
All right, I got to talk to the truck here a moment. Yeah, I can't hear Brad if he's talking to me at all or anybody else. I can hear Craig and Mike.
Yeah, he's...
Oh, okay. There you go. Thank you, Brad.
Okay.
Okay, no problem. Yep,
all right.
2 more, switch.
Okay. 15. Welcome back to the Dakota Dome. I'm Steve Toom here with the St. Thomas More head coach, Wayne Sullivan. Coach, congratulations on making it to the Dome. Tell us about the young men on this team that have carried you to this championship game.
Oh, thank you very much. We're very excited to be here. You know, we've got a great senior class, starting with our quarterback, Matthew Eastmo, 3-year starter for us. Been doing very, very well. And again, our big guys up front, you know, Lincoln Feist, Andrew Montoya, Carter Vincent. Those guys have been our big workhorses for us, you know, and then Travis Mills, our running back. And then we've got some young guys, some good young speed on the field today. Jake Anerud, you know, Zach Deal, Alex Clapperich. You know, I mean, so we're excited about getting on the turf and spreading it out a little bit today.
Let's talk about your opponent, Parkston. What do you expect to see from the Trojans?
Smash mouth football. You know, they got two of the best athletes in the town and the whole state of South Dakota in Dvorak and Reef. That's evident by the battle we had last year in the semifinal game. You know, we're going to have to contain those two athletes. And then Semler, their big, tough running back, you know, and you can't go away. They're big up front. They're big up front. Oh, my gosh. So, you know, it's going to be a smash mouth on their side. So we're going to have to try and contain that run game of theirs and putting them into passing situations.
Now, what is your team going to have to do offensively in order to win?
We're going to have to catch the ball today because we're going to spread it out. We're going to have to catch it, move the chains. No turnovers. We got to make sure we get the ball in the end zone when we can, and you know, do the little things right today. You know, no penalties that'll kill a drive, and again, do not turn the ball over.
Coach, thanks for your time. Good luck today.
Appreciate it. Thank you, guys.
Wayne Sullivan, head coach of St. Thomas More. Let's send it back upstairs to Mike Henriksen and Craig Maddock.
I've missed Wayne Sullivan. He is just one of those coaches that is never going to give you the stock answer. Everything that he thinks he's going to share with you, and we appreciate that. Let's take a look there. Rapid City, South Dakota. On the south side of the city is where you will find St. Thomas More High School. There you see the Cavaliers, sometimes referred to as the Blue Cavaliers because we have a few Cavaliers across the state of South Dakota. Notre Dame Fight Song enrollment 9 through 11. Of course, that's their ADM is 190, which is what all of the classifications are based on. Take a look there, Craig, at their lineup or at their schedule. They played a very solid schedule.
Yeah, their only loss was at home against a pretty good Winter team. Winter's kind of had their number the last couple of years.
They have.
Winter never got the chance to go back to play them in the playoffs because Winter got beat by Bonham. But St. Thomas More disposed of Bonham in the playoffs. And, of course, getting here to the Dome for the 6th time.
Let's take a look at the starting lineups for St. Thomas More. A reminder, you can find us always at sdpb.org.
Well, their offensive line, John Hanson, Brady Schmidt, Andrew Montoya, Lincoln Feist, Carter Vincent. The tight end is Evan Anderson. The wideout, Alex Keegan. Quarterback is Matt Eastmo. Look for Travis Mills. Excuse me. And Jake Anerud to play a big part of this offense, Mike, that's going to be in the spread. This is going to be a big contrast between these two offenses because St. Thomas More is going to spread out that offense and try to do what they can to get rid of the ball before that big defense of Parkston. Defensively for St. Thomas More, it's a big front four: Cameron Feast, Andrew Montoya, Lincoln Feist, Grady Grimshaw. The linebackers are Travis Mills, Aaron Moody, Hunter Collins, and Carter Vincent. And then back deep, Jake Anerud, Cole Furness, and Alex Clapperich. 23 interceptions by that St. Thomas More secondary, but I don't know if they're going to get a pass today because, you know, Parkston's going to want to run the ball.
When we come back, we'll take a look at the Parkston Trojans. You're watching the 11B Championship on South Dakota Public Broadcasting.
Free statewide broadcast of this South Dakota High School Sports Championship is underwritten by the thousands of members of the Friends of South Dakota Public Broadcasting, by Mid-Continent Communications, and by Dakota Bank.
And welcome back to the Dakota Dome with Craig Maddock of Sioux Falls Sports Radio, KWSN. I'm Mike Henriksen from SportsMax Radio and Calling All Sports. Steve Toom, our sideline reporter. The Parkston Trojans come in undefeated, and we had a chance to chat with the coach of the Parkston Trojans.
Been a great season. We've gone through pretty uneventful. Started off the season with a win over Groton, and then just continued to build on that. Big game at the beginning of the season was the winter game. Went up, played a great winter team, and played a great game against them, and come out with a win off that. That really helped build the season up, and then we just continued to take it one game at a time and working straight forward. And it's just been a very positive season all year long. We've had some injuries early, but they all got back, so we're doing great right now and hoping to move forward. The biggest key is just playing team football. We've got a lot of great players, but it really has been team effort. The line has done a great job opening gaps, backs get through those gaps and get down the field. Defensively, we floated the ball well as a team. It isn't that there's one guy making all the plays. It's a team effort, and that's really been the biggest key, the line and just being able to play as teams, and then have individuals really step up and have some big games for us. Defensively, we're going to have a good game in the backfield. Our D-backs are going to have to step up. We're going to use some other guys, possibly at times with Jordan McKean will step in at times to help us out. Ethan Murtha will be stepping in to help us out there. And then offensively, our line's really going to have to start controlling stuff up front and give us the gaps we need for our running backs to get through. The community has been great all year long, so has the school. We've had their fans have been behind us the whole way. They've been excited for us the whole way, great support. And, you know, even after this last game, there's just a ton of support out there, and we couldn't be here without them, and we really do appreciate it.
Some great highlights there from the win over the previously undefeated McCook Central Montrose Cougars. Craig, let's take a look at Parkston Trojans, located in beautiful Hutchinson County, straight south of Mitchell on Highway 37.
Looking for that first title. They've been here twice. Of course, last year they lost to Canton.
123 in the enrollment totals.
Look at that perfect schedule. Very quality wins against Wagner and Bonham. Starting lineup for the Parkston Trojans. That's a big offensive line. They're going to go to the right side with Horstman and Gannett. And then in the backfield, Wes Dvorak. You see, he could throw the ball, run the ball, kick the ball. He can do it all.
And he'll line up at multiple positions this afternoon.
Defensively, big up front. Horstman, Lindemann, Reichert. And defensively, 14 sacks on that defensive front. 6 interceptions for Parkston. It's going to be a good one.
And so there you see the Parkston lineup. We're back to the Dakota Dome after this timeout on South Dakota Public Broadcasting.
Free statewide broadcast of this South Dakota High School Championship event is brought to you in part by the thousands of members of the Friends of South Dakota Public Broadcasting, by Farmers Union Insurance, by SDN Communications, and by the Independent Insurance Agents of South Dakota.
With Craig Maddock from Sioux Falls Sports Radio, 1230 KWSN. I'm Mike Henriksen from Sports Max Radio and Calling All Sports. Steve Toom from South Dakota Public Broadcasting is on the sidelines. Year after year, 11B is a grind to win, and we have seen some classic championship games at this level. We're looking forward to another good game this afternoon. And to introduce the starting lineups and get us underway, let's send it over to our PA announcer, Joe Van Gore.
Football fans, the South Dakota High School Activities Association, along with its corporate partners, Sanford Health, First Premier Bank and Premier Bank Card, Farmers Union Insurance, Billion Automotive, and the South Dakota Army National Guard welcome you to the Dakota Dome in Vermillion for the 2014 State Class 11B Football Championship game between the St. Thomas More Cavaliers and the Parkston Trojans. Much too often, We are exposed to the examples of poor sportsmanship. That is why the South Dakota High School Activities Association is sponsoring a statewide effort to promote good sportsmanship in our schools. You can be part of this effort by displaying good sportsmanship during the state football championship game. Let's introduce the cheerleaders. First of all, for St. Thomas More, Hannah Williams, Morgan Lowenberg, Caitlin Wolf, Lauren Sanders, Corin Bertolot, Elizabeth Hampson, and Josie O'Meara. And now leading cheers for the Parkston Trojans, Brooklyn Schoenfelder, Carly Teedy, Sierra Stans, and Haley Bilas. At this time, we will introduce the offensive lineup for the St. Thomas More Cavaliers. At center, number 69, John Hansen. At right guard, number 56, Andrew Matoya. At left guard, number 52, Brady Schmidt. At right tackle, number 55, Lincoln Feist. At left tackle, number 58, Carter Vincent. At wide receiver, number 83, Evan Henderson. At wide receiver, number 1, Cole Thurness. At running back, number 13, Travis Mills. At running back, number 11, Jake Anarud. And at quarterback for the Cavaliers, number 10, Matt Eastmo. The Cavaliers are coached by Wayne Sullivan, assisted by Craig Nowotny, Doug Morano, Rick Bromer, Joe Gutierrez, Dan Cooper, Tom Merklon, Ryan Speed, Nick Durham, Jeff Peckney, Brent Thurness, Mike Hoddle, Kevin McGuire, John Bonenkamp, Mike Smith, and Nick Fees. And now, the starting defensive lineup for the Parkston Trojans. At the nose, number 75, Caleb Horseman. At defensive tackle, number 54, Tanner Reichert. At defensive tackle, number 74, Tanner Lindemann. At outside linebacker, number 43, Brady Reef. At outside linebacker, number 77, Austin Bertram. At inside linebacker, number 31, Miles Semler. At inside linebacker, number 55, Dylan Stottleman. At cornerback, number 35, Blake Beats. At cornerback, number 15, David Voorhees. At safety, number 22, Lane Conrad. And at safety, number 10, Wesley Dvorak. The Trojans are coached by Eric Norton, assisted by Sean Spurrell, John Gilman, Chad Dodozi, Craig Bruning, and Chase Lingeman. Football fans, your officials as assigned by the South Dakota High School Activities Association. The referee is Brian Young of Wentworth. The umpire is Jimmy Matteries of Madison. The linesman is Ed Fegan from Madison. The line judge is Tim Dockendorf of Madison. And the back judge is Craig Fowler of Madison. The alternate is David Hunsley of Madison. Football fans, direct your attention to the rafters above the Dakota Dome, where the South Dakota Army National Guard will be repelling today's game ball. Repelling is Sergeant Matt Kleinschmidt of the 211th Engineering Company. The South Dakota Army National Guard would like to thank the USD Army ROTC program and Lieutenant Colonel Ross Nelson for their assistance in repelling down the game ball. And now, presenting game's ball and a ceremonial coin for excellence for the championship game coin flip is South Dakota Army National Guard Senior Enlisted Advisor, Chief Master Sergeant James Welch, formerly of Parkston, South Dakota Army National Guard Chief of Staff Colonel Bill Friedel of St. Thomas More, and Sergeant First Class Eric Maschen from Parkston. The soldiers of the South Dakota Army National Guard salute today's players, coaches, and fans for exemplifying excellence in high school activities.
Parkston has won the toss. They've elected to defer. St. Thomas will receive and defend the north goal. Good luck, men.
Let's go! Let's go right now. Everybody in the red. Everybody in the red. Everybody in the red.
Mike, we're going to see a big contrast in play here, Mike. Parkston, they want to pound you. They want to run the ball. They don't pass a lot. Although St. Thomas More will want to try to spread it out. I think it's going to all come down to that offensive line of St. Thomas More. Can they give Eastmo enough time to throw the ball today?
Yeah, Eastmo is a terrific quarterback. You heard Wayne Sullivan say they were going to open it up, run that spread offense that I think Wayne Sullivan has run since it was invented. He might have had something to do with the invention of it, as a matter of fact. But it is going to be contrasting styles. Dropping back to receive the kick. Anderud will drop back, as will Klapperick. Back to receive the kick from one of the most versatile athletes you will see in the Dakota Dome this weekend, and that would be Wes Dvorak. He is a terrific kicker, including a couple of field goals over 50 yards. The kick is away. Klapperick will take it at the 10. And knocked down at about the 24-yard line. So that's where St. Thomas More will take over.
St. Thomas More has a very large left side with Montoya and Feist. If they're going to run the ball, you would think maybe they would like to go to the left side, but Eastmo is going to be the key today. Almost a 1,600-yard passer.
They will spread it out. The setback is Anderud. One man in the slot. He goes in motion. That's Cole Thurnis. The throw, caught. First down. Out to the 40-yard line. On that catch is Travis Mills.
Dylan Stottleman with the tackle, but that's what you're going to see, Mike. You're going to see the slants of those slant receivers. Perfect throw. Nice yards after catch run, and good way to get started in the championship game.
So first down, 10 yards to go. One play, one first down. Thurnis goes in motion.
Maybe a little too excited to get things going.
Dead ball penalty, false start, number 58, White.
Yep.
Still first down.
You can only have one guy in motion at a time.
Parkston was showing blitz. Brady Reef was ready to blitz on that outside. That linebacking core of Parkston with Reef, Stottleman, Semler, and Bertram. They've had sacks, they've had interceptions, they've had tackles for loss. A very aggressive linebacking core.
So the first penalty of the game brings up first down, 15 yards to go. Mark the ball back at the 35-yard line. Eastmo hands it off to Anerud. Anerud spins forward for about 3 yards or so. Move it out to the 38-yard line, and it'll bring up second down and 12.
Anerud, he's about like me, 5'9", 150. He's just trying to find...
It is remarkably similar.
Just trying to find somewhere to run on that left side. Got nice yardage.
So second down, 12 yards to go. Yeah, it's uncanny, as a matter of fact, now that I look. This time, quarterback draw. Eastmo will fall forward for about 6 more yards. Going to bring up third down and 7 yards to go. Eastmo, one of those kids that you just love to have in your school. He's student body vice president. He's a member of the National Honor Society. Had an outstanding career, 3-year starter at quarterback for St. Thomas More.
It's also key for Moore to keep the ball alive, sustain drives. Because Parkston averaging 40 points a game, they can score quickly.
Eastmo drops back, looks to the left, throws through the hands of the intended receiver. Would have been enough for the first down.
Alec Keegan. Well, that was right on the hands.
And so, after one play and one first down, it is a punting situation.
Maybe the biggest punter we've ever seen in the state football championships.
Lincoln Feist, 6'3" and 290.
Averaging 35 yards a punt this year.
And does it left-footed. Dvorak will watch it bounce. It'll check up at about the 20-yard line and is down at the 19. And so the Parkston offense will take over for their first possession of the game. Again, we talked about Wesley Dvorak, the 6'2", 175-pound senior. Wesley is scheduled to start at quarterback. But again, they'll line him up as a running back. They'll line him up as a wideout. They have a lot of diversity in this Parkston Trojan offense. This time they'll go with the power formation. Dvorak will hand it off to the first man through. That's Blake Beats. And Beats will pick up about 3 yards.
St. Thomas More's got a really good defensive front four right in the middle with Montoya and Feist. Could be pretty tough running straight up the middle.
Second down, call it 7 yards to go.
That time they challenged it right up the middle. Only got 3 yards.
Splitting out wide to the near side is Lane Conrad. This time more of a wishbone set. And off goes to the second man through, and that is Dvorak, who lined up as a running back.
Yeah, they brought Josh Rands in as quarterback. I'm sure Parkston, I would have assumed they're going to show St. Thomas More a lot of different formations here early.
That's what they've shown everybody so far this year. Pick up of 5, so it's third down and just a couple. As the Parkston Trojans looking for their first down of the afternoon. Ball was bobbled, but a penalty flag is down. Let's take a look at what this call is.
I think Parkston moved early.
That might have been a break
Dead
for
ball
Parkston.
penalty. False start, number 77, Blue. Repeat, third down.
It was a false start, and it's a good thing because Josh Rands ended up fumbling that ball. Josh is the 6'2", 175-pound junior. And now he will check out, and Dvorak will go back in at quarterback.
Yeah, that did just pop right out. Aware, though, with it, and Rand's able to recover it quickly.
Beats is the setback. Dvorak takes it himself, muscles his way near the first down, but I think he's going to be short. Let's see where they spot this.
He has to get to just shy of the 30. He's going to be about a half a yard shy.
Indeed he is.
I think that was about the fourth different formation we've seen so far.
And so now Dvorak will drop back into punt formation. St. Thomas More going to send Cole Thurnis back. 5'11", 170-pound junior. And a lot of bodies on the line of scrimmage. That punt is away. Thurnis will call for the fair catch at the 36-yard line, and that's where St. Thomas More will take over. First down and 10 yards to go.
When you have a player who can kick and throw and pass like Dvorak, just opens up so many options you have offensively. He does them all real well.
So here comes St. Thomas More with their second possession. They had a first down, and a penalty stifled them, as well as the Parkston defense. Man in motion, and we've got whistles on the field. What do we got? We got some blood, maybe?
Might have some blood on the jersey.
Yep. So checking out of the lineup is Lincoln Feist, and checking in is Luke. Well, it's number 50, and it says Lucas Peters, but the kid that just checked in is not 5'11" and 140. Now we're set to go with first down. Man in motion. The throw caught as Travis Mills comes up with the catch. Very near a first down.
You noticed, Mike, that Eastmo is not holding on to the ball much at all, and so we have a penalty flag on the end of the play. That could be a face mask near the end. Eastmo is going to time this where he's going to get rid of that ball in less than 2 seconds.
And sure enough, I think it's going to be the inadvertent.
I got a 5-yard face mask. Blue. That'll result in a first down.
So he was just shy, but add on the extra 5-yard penalty.
There's head coach Eric Norton, 7th year for the Trojans.
So
I think he agreed with that penalty.
Second first down for St. Thomas More.
But if St. Thomas More, if they can do those timing routes real quick, avoid any of that pressure from Parkston, St. Thomas More is going to have some success.
Eastmo takes it himself and pays the price. He got hammered by Austin Bertram. The senior linebacker came up and closed the gap quickly. Also in on the play was Tanner Lindemann. No gain, so that'll bring up a second down and 10 yards to go.
You know, and St. Thomas More is going to have to run the ball, of course. I mean, they just can't sit back there and throw 50 times today.
Well, they've tried when they've come to the Dome in years past. But they're also 0 for 5 here at the Dome when it comes to championships. There's the throw. That ball tipped and intercepted. And bringing it the other way for Parkston is David Voorhees. The first turnover of the game will give Parkston the ball inside the St. Thomas More territory at the 46-yard line, and we'll step aside. You're watching 11B action on South Dakota Public Broadcasting.
Here's that last play, the deflection, and then Voorhees picking up his first interception of the season and changing the momentum for the Parkston Trojans.
So first down, 10 yards to go. Wayne Sullivan said in the pregame that they can't afford to turn it over. See if Parkston can take advantage of this after going 3 and out in their first possession. And again, they'll go with that pitch to Dvorak, who's in at running back in the wishbone set. He'll pick up about 3 yards, and Hunter Collins will ride him down.
Boy, he exploded.
That kid's going to be fun to watch, isn't he? 6'2", 180, just a sophomore linebacker for the Cavaliers.
I mean, Dvorak's pretty fast.
Yes, he is.
Collins come right down the line of scrimmage like you're supposed to.
So second down, 7 yards to go. This time, Dvorak is the quarterback. He's got Miles Semler behind him. Fakes the handoff and then slips down at the 50-yard line. That's a loss of 7. His feet just gave way from under him.
Well, Montoya and Feist and one other St. Thomas More Cavalier were getting ready to pounce on him.
So a big third down here. Third down and 14 yards to go.
And we've seen a lot of players slip on this turf.
We have.
They're not just all wearing tennis shoes. A lot of them are wearing real tiny cleats.
Dvorak now goes in motion. They fake the handoff to him. Rams under pressure. Heaves it downfield. Has Reeve caught. 24-yard line. And he falls forward to the 21.
Only his 9th reception of the year. Brady Reeve not known for going down deep.
I think that was a crossing pattern that Reeve just adjusted on. Rams gets the pressure. Now will roll out. And Reeve had adjusted his route down the field. Is able to come up with the catch and the first down for the Parkston Trojans. There was an awful lot of heave and hope in that one. But hope was rewarded. Handoff, Semler, right side. Wrapped up inside the 20, down to the 17. Give him 4 yards on that carry. So second down, 6. As the clock continues to roll. First quarter, no score from the Dakota Dome in Vermilion. With Steve Toome on the sideline. Craig Maddock. I'm Mike Henriksen.
They bring Rands in now as quarterback.
Yep, they'll put Dvorak over on the right side as part of that wishbone look as a running back. He'll get the handoff, go through a big hole inside the 10, first and goal for the Parkston Trojans. He followed Blake Beats. Or excuse me, it was Semler that he followed. A nice hole, opened up on the line. Semler led Dvorak through the hole.
Yeah, when your offensive line is doing that, makes the running back look really good.
Ball just inside the 9-yard line. First down, 10 yards to go. Parkston trying to capitalize on the interception off of the tip ball by St. Thomas More. Dvorak will take the snap. He's got Beats as his running back. Hands it to Blake. And the sophomore doesn't get very far. Maybe a yard. Second down, goal to go. Just the straight dive. Yep, on the left side, but nothing there.
Rands back in at quarterback. Going with the wishbone.
Handoff. Dvorak pops it outside. Races to the corner. Can't quite get there. Good hustle defensively by Alex Klaprick. He was able to cut off the corner. It looked for a moment from our angle like Dvorak was going to be able to get to the pylon.
Yeah, Thurness was trying to catch him. Would have had the angle, but Klaprick's able to finish it off.
So third down and goal to go.
This is similar or beats territory right here.
Yep, they'll line up with the fullback as Dylan Staldeman. The handoff will go to Semler, touchdown.
Just going off that right side, Mike. Get that fullback, like you meant, Stottleman there with it in the backfield, and 11th rushing touchdown now for Semler on the year.
And in to do the kicking of the extra point is Westavoric. So Parkston able to score off of the turnover. The kick is up. The kick is good. So the Parkston Trojans break on top. Their second possession. They're able to pick up the score. 8 plays, 46 yards, 3:28 on that time of possession. Hey, Craig, you're going to be busy next week with South Dakota Public Broadcasting coverage again, aren't you?
The State B volleyball tournament in Aberdeen. I'll be up there. Steve Toom, he'll be in Yankton for the AA volleyball tournament. We'll also have crews up in Watertown for the Class A volleyball championship.
All the championship action will be online at sdpb.org. Take a look at some of the folks joining the conversation on Twitter. Ready to watch some championship football on the web? Good luck, STM from Nebraska. Special shout out to Travis Mills.
Okay, so maybe Lyman didn't have a lot of players.
That's true.
There's a lot of high school programs, Mike, who are using a lot of assistant coaches who are volunteer.
Yeah, and St. Thomas More has always done that. I believe I counted 13 that are actually in the program. But again, you can join the conversation. We appreciate it. Also, let us know where you're watching from. I know one of the biggest men you and I have ever known, Craig, Sean Bubba Bryant, is watching us up in Bismarck, North Dakota. The kick is away. Klapperick will race up, take it at about the 14-yard line.
Oh.
And he will be wrapped up at the 23.
Hunter Collins just came in and just laid out one of the Parkston defenders.
Craig, while we've got a moment, where can we find you on Twitter?
Here comes that last hit here.
Oh, boom.
Follow me on Twitter at Craig Mattick, M-A-T-T-I-C-K.
And you can find me at Mike Henriksen, Henriksen. Both Craig and I used our full names on Twitter, even though no one can actually spell our names properly.
Easy to find them.
Yes. Empty backfield. Pressure. And down goes Eastmo. And Craig, that was caused by the good coverage defensively of the Parkston defensive backs.
If he would have had another half a second, he had Cole Thurness open right down the middle of the field, but he just didn't have quite enough time.
So a loss of 3 on the play brings up second down and 13. PJ Friedel will check out of the lineup. Again, empty backfield, 5 wide. The throw almost intercepted again. Stepping in there was Dylan Stadelman. It was tipped away. That could have been a huge turnover there.
I don't think Eastmo saw Stadelman there at all. Just a basic timing pattern. Didn't see him at all and trying to go to Thurness.
So a big third down here.
But this is what St. Thomas More is going to be doing all day, Mike.
Yes, it is.
They're not going to be able to pound it out on the ground.
The throw on the out. Thurness is going to come up short. He was met initially by David Voorhees. And then coming over to help out defensively was Saddleman. So it brings up a 4th down. And we'll see the big man back in to punt. Lincoln Feist. And Wesley Dvorak will drop back to receive the punt.
Parkston's only been giving up 3 points a game this year.
And there is a penalty for too many men on the field. Dvorak will make the catch at the 37. Now, this isn't going to matter. It's a 5-yard penalty, and the folks from Parkston, or from St. Thomas More, had a 4th and 7 or so. But maybe, being the riverboat gambler that Wayne Sullivan is, maybe he takes a chance.
When you get Lincoln Feist back there, put him in a running mode. It would be 4th and 2. As you heard, it was illegal substitution by Parkston.
Yep, one of the Parkston players didn't get off of the field quite fast enough. So
it would not be an automatic first down.
No, it wouldn't.
I'd repunt again.
Yeah, take.
I got a legal substitution. Defense, we're going to re-kick, replay 4th down.
The only bad part is, Craig, that puts the ball potentially in the hands of Wesley Dvorak one more time. But we'll see how it works out. Eric very frustrated with his team right there. You can read his lips. He said, "You got to count." And so it will be 4th down and a couple. And Dvorak will drop back, but he's not going to drop back very far. Parkston knows what St. Thomas More has done in the past. This would be a prime fake situation. Nope, they will snap it all the way back and go ahead and punt it. That's a good punt. And Dvorak is going to back up. It will check at the 34-yard line.
Just about the same spot it was going to be last time. Give or take a few yards.
So Parkston will take over their 3rd possession. First time they were 3 and out, and they came up with their 4th possession. They came up with the turnover, and they were able to turn that into points.
Parkston outscored their opponents 458 to 42. Parkston outscored their opponents in the playoffs 136 to 6.
Again, I had the chance to see them play against McCook Central Montrose, the previously undefeated McCook Central Montrose. Handoff goes over the right side. That was Blake Beats with the carry.
Parkston pretty well known, too, for their wrestling program. They've had state championships, team titles, a lot of individual titles.
Yep, Beats is one of those kids, state champion wrestler as an 8th grader, finished 3rd last year. 2nd down, 7 yards to go. Again, Rands is the quarterback. Handoff on the counter. Goes to Dvorak, and he is swarmed under for a loss. Great defensive read. Andrew Montoya led the charge. And a loss on the play brings up 3rd down and 10.
Jackson Schad came in, or actually that was Cameron Feast. The initial stop, then got help. It's at the end of the 1st quarter.
So at the end of 1, the Parkston Trojans on top of St. Thomas More Cavaliers. We're back after this timeout on South Dakota Public Broadcasting. With Steve Toom and Craig Maddock, I'm Mike Henriksen. Let's go to our Twitter feed, see what folks are saying about South Dakota Public Broadcasting. We greatly appreciate this first one.
Whoa.
Mike Henriksen as a sideline reporter is like Ray Charles as a backup singer. Glad he's back in the booth. Hashtag SD Football 14. Thank you, T Area Titans. We appreciate that one. Going to be a good game. And Jackson Oliver, that's right, Tommy. We appreciate everybody following us and commenting on Twitter. What has the world beget.
10 years ago, what's this Twitter thing?
10?
Okay, 2.
Dvorak rolling right side. Now throws it downfield. Put it in a position where only his receiver could have caught the ball. Unfortunately, Beats couldn't come up with it, and so it's now 4th down. And a good defensive stand by St. Thomas More.
Yeah, especially on that last play. Those corners and safeties. Good coverage. Dvorak just had no one to throw to. Had to throw it away.
And so Dvorak will be punting, and Furness will drop back to receive the punt.
Dvorak averages 37 yards a punt. A lot of that was in the wind, though, during the football.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good one that hangs for a long time, and Furness will make the fair catch just outside of the 30-yard line.
35-yard punt by Dvorak.
By the way, we were talking about, Lincoln Feist earlier, too, and he has played on St. Thomas More basketball team in the state AA tournament. He pitched the St. Thomas More baseball team to a victory in the semifinals of the State B baseball championships. Also, he placed in the weights in the state Class A track meet. Just one of those guys that is pretty darn good at everything. And so here comes St. Thomas More. Matt Eastmo, the quarterback. He'll hand off and nowhere to run.
Ran right into Austin Bertram. Loss of 1. First quarter stats, total yards for St. Thomas More, 38. Parkston total yards, 60. Not a lot of yardage in that first quarter.
And that was Cameron Fees with his first carry, the sophomore.
There we go, 4 wide now for Tommy Moore.
Matt Eastmo, the senior quarterback. He'll run the option pitch to Anarud, and Anarud with nowhere to go.
I don't think that's going to work all day, Mike. You got Bertram back out there for Parkston. These linebackers are really quick with Reef, Stottleman, Bertram. That's a tough defense for Parkston.
Yeah, that's McCook Central Montrose found the same thing. They were trying to get wide, and they didn't really have an opportunity because of that speed moving down the line of the Parkston Trojan defense. So 3rd down and 13 yards to go. Empty backfield. Eastmo, the throw has a man caught. 1st down, and then the hammer by Dvorak. But what a catch by Jake Anarud.
And Parkston was only rushing 2 defensive linemen at that time. Nice seam throw by Eastmo right down the middle. Had time to throw. Again, they were only rushing 2.
Look at the touch, the catch, the hammer.
Anarud with that would be his first catch of the day.
So 1st down, 10 yards to go. St. Thomas More inside Parkston territory. Eastmo trips as he came up towards the line of scrimmage. Some of the players having trouble with the footing out there.
Wes Gannett just kind of laid down on him, got the easy tackle.
Loss of about a yard or so. Empty backfield for Eastmo. Pressure. Batted down. Where's the ball? It's on the ground.
That was Reef coming in on the blitz.
That is about as effective of a stuffed pass as you are ever going to see. That looked an awful lot, Craig, like what you're going to see at the state volleyball championships next week. Take a look.
Brady
Kaboom.
Committed to play at Iowa next year, following his brother Riley there. Brady, 2-time state wrestling champ.
And so it's 3rd down. 11 yards to go.
Brady is more athletic than Riley.
Eastmo throws right side, tipped away. Getting there just in time to separate the receiver and the ball was Lane Conrad.
You're absolutely right, Mike. He timed that perfectly to bust it up.
And so after the nice pass to Enerud, got them into Parkston territory, it will be a punting situation. Dvorak will end up at about his own 15-yard line to receive this punt.
Feist averaging 37 yards in his punts here today.
Parkston keeping everybody on the line, but they fake it and successfully do it anyway. And down inside the 10-yard line with the catch is Alec Keegan.
That was performed to perfection.
Craig, I saw it coming. Parkston saw it coming. They had bodies on the line, but somebody missed an assignment. The throw and the catch.
Alec Keegan gives some life to the Cavaliers.
First down and goal. This time, more of a power set. 3 backs in the backfield. Eastmo under center. Hands it off to Travis Mills. Mills is met inside the 5. Knocked down. It will be second down and goal. Trying to run power against power inside the 5-yard line.
See if they try to run behind number 55, Lincoln Feist, right on the right side. Andrew Montoya, that's 230 and 290 on the right side.
Eastmo, handoff, right side. You called it into the end zone. No, just shy. They will mark him just shy. Travis Mills not quite able to get into the end zone. And so it will be third down and goal. And the ball inside the 1-yard line. Good camera work by our South Dakota Public Broadcasting crew there.
Got to think this is quarterback sneak territory here.
Eastmo takes it himself. Touchdown. So Matt Eastmo will be officially credited with a 1-yard touchdown run. Followed his lineman. The kick is away. The kick is up. And the kick is good. Maggie Vetch. Was that who kicked it?
Yep.
Maggie did?
Yep.
All right. Outstanding. So that will tie it. Parkston and St. Thomas More. There you get a nice look at the surge by that offensive line. Tied at 7 apiece. Craig, we've said it before, we'll say it again. Every year, 11B, you can tell me 8 to 10 teams that are going to win that title. And this year, even though Tri-Valley wasn't quite as what they have been in years past, you still had McCook Central Montrose, you had Aberdeen Roncalli, you had Winter. Winter ends up getting beat by the Bonham Cavaliers, as you mentioned in the pregame. Bonham is dropping a 9-man next year. But it is such a grind to get here that we end up having some really, really good games when it comes to Class 11B. And so Lincoln Feist set to kick off. Dvorak is back deep. Also back there is David Voorhees. 10 plays, 69 yards, 4 minutes. Eaten up on that drive. Of course, the key play was the fake punt.
Mike, I think they changed numbers on us. That would have been Luke Julian with the extra point.
The kick.
We had some wrong numbers earlier, so Luke Jillian with the extra point.
Fielded by Semler. Or excuse me, Blake Beats. I'm going to get Beats and Semler mixed up all day, and I apologize. But Beats takes that back. Now Parkston with pretty good field position. So first down, 10 yards to go. Ball at their own 41-yard line. 7:39 left to play. First half of a tie ball game. Again, Josh Rands will be the quarterback. Handoff goes on the right side to Semler. And Semler. Wow.
I think Travis Mills at St. Thomas More got the worst of that. One of the linebackers.
Take a look here.
Number 13 is Travis Mills. I think he took the brunt of this. At the end.
A pickup of 4 yards, second down, 6 to go.
Again, yeah, it is confirmed there, Mike. It was Luke Julian with the extra point.
Okay. Here I thought we had our first points ever by a female in the dome. The throw out to Dvorak. He lined up at wide receiver, and he cannot get wide. He'll get close to the first down. He is out at about the 50-yard line.
Alex Clapperich holding on as much as he could. Pretty good stiff arm, though, by Dvorak.
It is just shy of the first down, but brings up a third down and short.
Yeah, switches the ball to that outside of the body, uses the right hand as a stiff arm. Clapperich, though, holding on for dear life.
Again, we said they'll put Dvorak all over the place. This time he'll line up as a running back. And it will be Rands that will take it for the first down inside Cavalier territory. Wesley Dvorak, to give you an idea of his versatility and his talent, had a situation this year where he scored 8 consecutive times that he touched the ball. He scored.
Was that against Lee Deadwood?
He scored on the last carry against Bonham. Then he scored all 6 times that he carried the ball against Lee Deadwood. And then he scored the first carry against Canton. 8 carries, 8 touchdowns. First down, 10 yards to go. Josh Rands changes the play at the line of scrimmage. The pitch goes on the right side to Beats. Beats is going to be hauled in. Craig, there's a lot of speed on that St. Thomas More defense, too. Getting outside against them is not easy to do.
Yeah, Anarud and Mills. Anarud, one of the corners, and Mills, the linebacker. They were right up there to meet him at the corner. Minimal gain.
So second down, 5 yard, or second down and 8 yards to go. Jordan McKean will check in now, the sophomore wide receiver for Parkston, and he will come to the near side. Conrad goes to the other side. Dvorak playing quarterback. He'll throw, and it is off the hands of McKean. And that will bring up third down and long.
Well, Lucas Peters, one of the linebackers, got his arms up there. Don't know if he was able to deflect this at all. It was certainly in the path of the throw, but nope, just couldn't catch it. McKean couldn't bring her in.
So third down. Parkston was able to score after picking off a pass of St. Thomas More and setting themselves up in good field position. St. Thomas More scored after a successful fake punt. Went for about 38 yards. Dvorak taking it himself, getting some blocks, turns it upfield. First down inside the 30 to the 27-yard line.
Mike, you have to tip your cap to all of those guys blocking downfield. Reef was down there. Who else is blocking down there? Reef was running to spring it.
And good patience by Dvorak, also waiting for those blocks to come. So first down, 10 yards to go. Dvorak at quarterback with the lone setback. He's got Reef ahead of him. He'll hand it off to Semler, and Semler will get inside the 25 to the 24. Pickup of a couple. Second down, 8 yards to go. Clock continuing to roll.
St. Thomas More with 107 yards of total offense. Parkston with 94. Really, almost into the first half. That's not a lot of yards.
No, it's not. McKean will come out wide to the left side again. Conrad is wide to the right. Dvorak shifts his running back. Will keep it himself. Go on the inside handoff. And with running room and a block downfield, just couldn't quite wait long enough. Blake Beats, the sophomore, was getting a block from his fellow sophomore McKean, but it is first down. Are they going to call that goal to go? They are. First down and goal to go on the inside handoff to Beats.
Wesley Gannett with a nice block on that line to spring him, but Beats getting caught up with his own feet.
Yeah, Beats, I think, just a little indecision. Couldn't decide whether to keep going outside or wait for the block. And that'll come with experience, though. He's just a sophomore and a darn good one. First down, goal to go. Miles Semler, the setback. He'll take the handoff, run on the left side. Muscle his way down to the 7-yard line where it will be second down, a goal, a pickup of 3.
You have 4 seniors and a junior on that offensive line for Parkston. This time they went to the left side, going again with Lindemann and Bertram.
And Josh Rands will check into the lineup and play quarterback.
The big part of the line, though, for Parkston is on the right side.
Once again, they'll go out of that faux wishbone formation with Dvorak as one of the running backs. They'll hand it on the counter to Beats, and Beats doesn't get far. So it will be third down and goal. The ball just inside the 7-yard line, and again, time continuing to wind here in the half.
Yeah, they're putting Brady Reef, the tight end, right there on that right side. You got Reef, 6'4", 230. Gannett, 6'4", 275. Horseman, 6', 260.
The St. Thomas More crowd on their feet, trying to urge on their defense. Dvorak back at quarterback. Beats is his setback. Dvorak will keep it himself. Look into the end zone. Pump once. Now reverse field. Gets a block. Oh, what a hit. Sets, throws, tosses it up. Incomplete.
And a flag. Oh, boy.
Are they going to... It's going to be roughing the passer.
As Lucas Peters was the St. Thomas More player who got decleated.
I got roughing the passer. Defense, that's an automatic first down.
Wayne Sullivan, what did he say? We can't let penalties hurt us, and we can't turn the ball over. Take a look here over on that right side.
Yep.
Top, boom.
And then after the play, is Andrew Montoya with the hit.
So first down, goal to go. The ball inside the 3-yard line. Rand, the quarterback, hands off, and getting nowhere is Miles Semler. He is ridden back. Good defensive play inside. Lucas Peters and others.
Well, now if you're St. Thomas More, if you can hold Parkston maybe to a field goal here, because there's only 1:25 to go in the half. A lot of weapons in that backfield.
Handoff, touchdown. Blake Beats, the sophomore, will get into the end zone and give Parkston the lead.
That's just strong football, Mike. Going off that right side. Getting a fullback to block for you. And Beats will pick up his 5th rushing touchdown of the year.
Dvorak with the kick out of Rand's hold is up and good. Parkston with the lead, and we step aside on South Dakota Public Broadcasting. With Steve Toom and Craig Maddock, I'm Mike Henriksen. We've got more tweets coming, Craig.
All across the state. Our good friend Craig Libis tweeting us today.
Back in the booth, kind of like Sonny and Cher. Craig, you would be old enough to remember Sonny and Cher, wouldn't you?
Oh, yeah. I remember that.
Matt Malloy, the former outstanding Parkston player, worked out with a lot of these guys. Said they're a great group of kids. Go Cavs, watching in Georgia. We love that. So thank you so much, wherever you may be. Following along. By the way, I want to change. I've been giving Lucas Peters a little more credit. It's Grady Grimshaw. Grady is number 50. He is the 6'2", 180-pound junior for St. Thomas More. So I apologize.
We've been given a couple of different numbers there, Mike.
Yeah, we have. That kick is...
I'm glad we didn't get it right, though.
Right. Up in the air, taken right at the goal line. And coming out with a nice return to the 23-yard line. That's Jake Anderud. And now let's see what St. Thomas More can do here with 1:01 left in the half. And they do have all 3 timeouts left.
Yeah, Grady will wear number 86, and sometimes he'll wear 50. So we were told he was going to wear 86 today.
Yep.
So glad we get that right. Appreciate it. I think you got to try at least a couple of shots here, Mike.
Oh, yeah. Oh, they've got a ton of time here. The way the offense for St. Thomas More can move. They'll go with the lone setback. He's back there just for protection. The throw goes, caught, out of bounds is Anderud. So he'll pick up a few yards and stop the clock. And so it will be 2nd down. The ball at the 31-yard line.
Yeah, they were doing some crossing routes there. Thurness was going down and in. Going down and out was Anderud.
So 2nd down, 4 yards to go. Now they'll split the receiver a little bit farther wide. Eastmo, the throw, has a man wide open. That's Anderud. Anderud inside the 20, down to the 16-yard line. A little miscommunication on coverage in the defensive backfield for the Parkston Trojans. And a big play once again to Anderud.
Anderud just going down the seam, and Eastmo caught him in stride. Anderud didn't have to slow down much at all. What a great pass.
And a timeout going to be called by St. Thomas More.
And a hit by Anderud. He's putting the blow down.
Their first timeout of the half.
It is 3 catches for 88 yards for Anderud, including on that fake punt. He was able to catch that from Eastmo as well.
St. Thomas More must have seen something at least here recently that picking apart the corners of Parkston.
We're 45 minutes away from halftime. Parkston on top, 14-7. And Craig, I'm bothered. When our buddy Craig sent that tweet, which one of us is Cher?
Well, we know what happened to the other ones.
Cher coming to Sioux Falls, by the way. Parkston leading St. Thomas More. Cher had to postpone her concert in Sioux Falls, but there's a good look at Wayne Sullivan as we get back on task.
Number 7, Keegan, has caught the most passes this year for St. Thomas More.
So Eastmo will go with that empty backfield and 5 wide. They have 2 timeouts left. It is first down and 10. Eastman throw to the corner. He's there. Caught. Touchdown. Travis Mills with the catch.
Boy, that was a tough pass. I mean, that was aired up into the corner of the end zone, but it was high enough for Mills to go up and get it. This is not an easy pass.
And over the top of the defender, a couple of bodies back there. And the kick is up, and the kick is good.
Well, that didn't take long, Mike.
That's what St. Thomas More can do to you with that spread offense.
Will it take 20 seconds?
29. 3 plays, 76 yards, 29 seconds. And what a touch by Matt Eastmo.
Well, I did say they should give it a couple of shots. I guess they took 3 shots and got it done. But if you're Parkston, you got to go, they got to start talking about this at halftime. How are they going to work the pass defense against St. Thomas More?
Yeah, there have been some bodies running open in the defensive secondary.
All right, what has Eastmo done? He is 8 of 13, 173 yards, 1 pick, 1 touchdown.
It was his first interception that set up the first touchdown of the day for the Parkston Trojans.
Well, we knew that St. Thomas More's success was going to come via the air, and Parkston's success was going to come from the ground.
It has played out just about the way we thought it might, including a trick play by St. Thomas More on that fake punt.
Lincoln Feist going to kick it off.
Voorhees and Dvorak back to receive the kick. That's going to go to Voorhees. He's going to watch it. Is it going to go out of bounds? It will. Voorhees was making sure he was there because that's a live ball once it goes 10 yards, but he watched it sail out of bounds.
If that ball would have taken a crazy bounce back, St. Thomas More had a couple of players right there.
And now here, St. Thomas More has given Parkston some excellent field position.
Procedure. White. First down on the 35-yard line.
When you kick the ball out of bounds, the ball is then placed at the 35-yard line. Let's see who St. Thomas or who Parkston goes with the quarterback here. They're going to go with Josh Rands and go into the wishbone formation. Rands, the junior. He'll pitch it back. It'll go to Dvorak. Dvorak gets a block outside, swings a button, gets inside the 50 to the 44-yard line. Oh, they'll say he stepped out at the 46. Great patience by Wes Dvorak. Waiting for those blocks. And plus, he was able to get out of bounds. That stops the clock, the pickup of 19 yards. Parkston still with all 3 timeouts left.
Conrad, Semler giving blocks downfield.
Josh Rands, once again the quarterback. Same formation as last time, with the single wideout being Dylan Thuringer. The pitch on the right side, beats. He's wrapped up, and a timeout going to be called right away. He got nowhere. That was well read by the defense. Travis Mills, among others, over to make the play.
I got timeout, Parkston. That's their first one of the half.
Parkston is not known for a passing team, Mike. I mean, when you look at Dvorak as a quarterback, he's thrown under 300 yards this year, and Rands as a quarterback has thrown for about 400 yards. They're only averaging 65 yards a game passing.
Of course, a lot of times that has been because of the fact they haven't needed to pass the ball. Also keep in mind that Dvorak has a 53-yard field goal, too, so you may want to stick around and see how this works out. Has a heck of a leg on Wes Dvorak.
Well, he's got a couple others that are upper 40s that he has hit this year. 47, 46.
Reminder that SDPB is online 24/7 on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram, and more. Have you made the Instagram leap yet, Craig?
Huh?
Exactly. If you don't know what Instagram is, use your Google machine and look that thing up.
That's what I have my kids for.
That's exactly right. And since mine all moved out, I'm a little bit more lost now. So we may have to get Nate Weck to help us on the Instagram thing with South Dakota Public Broadcasting. All right, second down, 9 yards to go. Dvorak, the quarterback. They'll go on that inside counter with Beats. Beats will try to get towards the out of bounds. He can't, and now a timeout called.
Yeah, that play took a long time.
Yes, it did.
Faking the play to the right, and then you go left, and then you go on the reverse to the right.
Timeout. Parkston.
So that will be
timeout.
The second timeout for the Parkston Trojans, down to 16 seconds left to play. Anyway, as I was saying, you can follow SDPB and get engaging articles, inside information, behind-the-scenes photos, and fun facts. Go to sdpb.org and click on Engage to find links to all of the social media pages. Looking forward to a full house coming up tonight, Craig. We could have a very, very good football game again this evening.
Yankton Brookings will be on at 7 o'clock Central, 6 Mountain. Someone's going to win their first football title right here. St. Thomas More, Parkston. 6th trip to the Dome for St. Thomas More. 3rd trip via Parkston. Remember that 2002 game, Mike? Clark in Parkston, 27-18.
Yep.
And then last year, Canton, the champs, 20-14.
That was when that one in 2002, third down and 3 yards to go. Handoff goes on the right side to Beats. Beats will have the first down and more, and another timeout going to be called. Excuse me, they will stop the clock here to move the chains. Let's see what Parkston does. If they decide to use the timeout, they're going to try to hustle it up to get set up as quickly as they can. Rands. Yep, they're not going to use the timeout.
Oh, watch out. You're going to run out of time. Oh,
they'll spike it. And
that's a penalty.
Dylan Thuringer was not on the line of scrimmage. That's what Rands was trying to do, was trying to get his receiver onto the line of scrimmage.
I got a dead ball, legal formation on Parkston.
So instead of a 40-yard field goal, if they're going to try it, it's going to have to be close to 45-yarder, 47. This would be a 47-yarder for Dvorak, and certainly he can hit it from this distance. You're not going to do it. You know, you go for the points. You're not going to go with a Hail Mary here. You're going to go for the points.
So Wesley Dvorak will step in and attempt. They're going to put 50. It right at the 40, so it's a 50-yard field goal by the time you add the 10 yards in the end zone.
He's gone 52.
For the lead. Snap is a good one. The kick is away. Does it have enough? Yes!
That's a record. The old record was 44 by Dusty Nowotny of St. Thomas More in 06.
So the Parkston Trojans will take the lead at halftime.
Well, the St. Thomas More folks are not happy because Wayne Sullivan was screaming for a timeout before they snapped it. But Mike, this was good from 55. Look at that. That could have been almost 60 yards.
That banged the back wall.
I know right now, coach is talking to the officials. They were yelling for a timeout before that snap of the field goal, and they're discussing it right now on the sideline. They're certainly not going to get the timeout now.
Right. They were trying to ice the kicker is what they were trying to do. And now Wayne Sullivan comes back out.
Well, pleading as much as he can. It's not going to do anything, but that was a kick by Dvorak.
What a phenomenal performance by Dvorak. 50 yards, and like you say, Craig, that was going to be good for at least an easy 5.
While we're awaiting Eric Norton of Parkston, he's meeting with his other coaches on the other side of the field. And he's going to talk to Steve Toom here in just a moment.
Congratulations to the Hamlin Chargers. They picked up a victory earlier today to win their first 9-man title. And then they joined Howard, who picked up the victory yesterday. Also the Dell Rapids Warriors, who picked up the victory last night.
That was a fun game.
That was. We had a couple of dandies yesterday. And now Steve Toom is standing by with Eric Norton on the sideline. Steve?
All right, thank you, gentlemen. Coach, an exciting first half. Saw a little bit of everything from both teams. A fake punt, a pass for a touchdown, some good drives. Your assessment of your team's performance in the first half?
We're doing pretty good. We're making some mistakes that we can't make, and we knew that coming into it. So we're doing all right, but we got to make some adjustments here in the second half.
Now, that last drive, you got into field goal range. You had 4 seconds left. Tell me what your thoughts were when you saw that ball leave the foot of your kicker.
Yeah, it come off really good. It sounded nice coming off his foot, so I thought we had it.
So what adjustments you need to make at halftime?
We're going to have to make sure we do a better job from a D-back perspective of staying home and doing their responsibilities and not overreading things. Defense or offensively, we just got to make sure that we maintain our blocks.
Coach, best of luck in the second half.
Thank you.
Eric Norton, the head coach of the Parkston Trojans. An exciting ball game. They lead St. Thomas More 17-14. We'll be back with more. It's halftime here at the Dakota Dome. You're watching the Class 11B Championship football game on South Dakota Public Broadcasting.
Free statewide broadcast of this South Dakota High School Sports Championship is underwritten by the thousands of members of the Friends of South Dakota Public Broadcasting, by Mid-Continent Communications, and by Dakota Bank.
We are delighted to have you spending your Friday afternoon with us here on South Dakota Public Broadcasting as the Parkston Trojans, on the strength of a 50-yard Wes Dvorak field goal, take the lead at halftime, 17-14.
By the way, that 50-yard field goal not only is a record in the Class 11B, it is a record for any state championship game, any class.
There's a thing that early, the interception, and then the touchdown by Miles Semler.
He's got 11 of those now on the year.
Able to score following that turnover.
How about that fake punt, though?
Yeah, the fake punt set up the dive by Matt Eastmo.
And then Beats gets a touchdown.
And then what a touch by Matt Eastmo into the corner to Travis Mills. The 6'1", 200-pound senior goes up and gets it. And there is the field goal that is up and good.
Wow, only 10 yards rushing for the Cavaliers.
Well, they haven't committed to it. They've run most of their sets with an empty backfield.
Well, they've tried to go up the middle. They've tried to do quarterback options. Just has not worked out. Pretty good defense by Parkston, but Parkston only 35 yards passing. They haven't had success going downfield.
There you see the time of possession, which of course is going to favor the team that runs the ball more. And Parkston winning that particular battle.
I think the play of the first half has got certainly one of the big plays. Had to be that fake punt because certainly Parkston was, the momentum of Parkston was there, and St. Thomas More needed to try something to try to change that momentum, and coming out with that fake punt that was done to perfection absolutely changed a little bit of the momentum.
And again, I'm sure that I think Eric Norton and his staff knew it was coming. They had one man deep. They had everybody else along the base. And let's send it over to the PA to Joe Van Gore.
The director of the Jones County Coyotes High School Band. Thank you.
A good look at one of our good friends, John Krogstrand, who is relatively new in the office, I guess a couple of years now, and up in Pierre.
Hey, thanks to Jones County coming down to Vermilion to be the band of the day.
You bet. Very nice job by the Coyotes today. But at halftime, it is Parkston on top of St. Thomas More. With Steve Toom and Craig Maddock, I'm Mike Henriksen. We're back to the Dome after this. Welcome back to the Dakota Dome in Vermilion with Steve Toom from South Dakota Public Broadcasting. He's working the sidelines for us. Craig Maddock from Sioux Falls Sports Radio joins us.
Just want to clarify the field goal record. Okay. Old Twitter world thinking it's a state record. It's a state title record.
Right.
And not only is the 50-yard field goal by West of Oric a state the longest field goal made in the Class 11B title game. It's also the longest field goal of any of the title games in history, regardless of any class.
Right.
In South Dakota.
The same way as an overall 100-meter dash time when aired on South Dakota Public Broadcasting is not the same as a state meet 100-meter dash time state record.
That is correct.
So,
I've seen a number of 50-yard plus field goals over the last number of years.
South Dakota has turned out some incredible kickers. You mentioned Dusty Nowotny was the guy who held the previous record, right, from St. Thomas More.
I think that was 47. I'll just check here real quick.
Okay, but Dusty, of course, came down and played here in the Dome at the University of South Dakota. And,
that was a 44-yarder.
Okay, and he was a combination wide receiver and kicker. So very athletic, very similar to West of Oric, where Wes is certainly multi-talented. Meanwhile, we've turned out a lot of great kickers through the years, too. We've had a lot of D1 players.
Yeah, but recently, in the last couple of years...
no, it's struggled.
It has struggled a little bit, which surprises me because the way the soccer programs have been built up across South Dakota, that some of these schools are going to the soccer program and finding a guy or a girl who has been in soccer and come kicking for the football team.
Right.
Just have not seen a number of really good field goal kickers, especially among the AAA ranks here in the last couple of years.
Yeah, one of which it's Justin Siratka, of course, who is now kicking for South Dakota State University, and he's put together an outstanding career. He was very, very good.
He was at Roosevelt.
Yep, absolutely, and was it Travis Cook that went on to play in college? There's been various ones through the years that have played some D1.
I think with the Sioux Falls schools, I think 2 of the 4 schools had maybe 1 field goal all year. So they were not kicking a lot.
Let's take a look at the Twitterverse. You were mentioning that sometimes Twitter is wrong, and I was actually mentioning that. Watching SDPBS up in Millbank. Keep up the good work. Thank you very much, Troy. We appreciate that. Matt Kearney sitting here at Western Dakota Tech in the lobby. Only one sitting here watching the game while doing homework.
Where is everybody else?
Matt, you are a man after my own heart, except for the fact you have a degree.
It's Friday afternoon.
That's right. And Tanner Wentz. Remember Tanner? I was on those STM teams from 04 to 08. Tanner, you certainly were. Get that first win, Cavs. We appreciate you joining the conversation. Hashtag PRK versus STM. Also, hashtag SD Football 14.
We've talked about how tough it is to get to the Dome. Tough to get here 2 years in a row. St. Thomas More did it 4 years in a row from 2004, 5, 6, and 7. Unfortunately, they ran into some pretty good teams from Howard, Aberdeen, Roncalli, and West Central when they were here.
And we were talking about that earlier. You mentioned that game from 2002 when Parkston was here and got beat. The Northeast Conference, remember the run that they were on when it came to 11B? I mean, you had Aberdeen, Roncalli, you had Webster, you had so many of those teams. What do you got there? You got it right in front of you.
The last champions from 11B, last 10 years: Canton, Winter, Tri-Valley, Flandreau, Winter, Tri-Valley, Aberdeen, Roncalli. Then you had Howard and Webster, Clark and Britton,
right,
and Webster again.
Exactly. That's
the early 2000s. They had a great run.
Yeah, that's where you're talking about Roncalli, Webster, Clark, Britton. There was some very, very good football, and it seemed like if they didn't win it, they were in the Dome as the runner-up as well. It is halftime. Parkston is on top of St. Thomas More, and we're back with the second half after this timeout on South Dakota Public Broadcasting.
All right, we're back at the Dakota Dome in Vermillion. We're with Wayne Sullivan, the head coach of St. Thomas More. Coach, you went for a fake punt there, and it led to a touchdown. Talk me through the thinking process on that play.
Well, that's always in our arsenal. We always want to make sure we have that. I mean, we're a spread offense. We're going to come after it, and if we see that it's there, I mean, we're going to do it. I mean, last time when we were against Roncalli here, we ran it 4 times. I mean, if they're going to give it to us, we're going to take it. We got to execute, and we did that time.
Your passing game has been pretty effective. You got 2 touchdowns on the board, and you've got some big pass plays.
He's making good reads right now, and our guys are catching the ball. We had 2 drops, but we can't have them from here on out. But, again, credit Parkston. They're playing a great game against us, and they're doing a great job. If we can come out and get a break or 2 this half and keep throwing the ball and completing our passes, we got a chance.
Coach, thanks for your time, and good luck in the second half.
Thank you very much.
Wayne Sullivan, the head coach of St. Thomas More. Let's send it back up to the booth. Craig Maddock and Mike Hendrickson.
All right, thank you very much. At halftime, Parkston is on top of St. Thomas More. That's John. Is that John's son? Very nice. John was kind enough to actually dress him up in Kansas City Royals gear to help my Royals on their World Series run this year. So good to see a new fan here at the Dakota Dome. All right, Craig, second half, your thoughts. What can we expect?
Well, I think St. Thomas More will continue to they're certainly going to use that spread. They seem to be in rhythm, pretty good rhythm. Eastmo's sitting back there. I think he's looking over the field over pretty good. They're seeing something in the corners with Parkston right now. Where Parkston, I think, even the coach addressed that. Eric Norton addressed that at halftime. He says our corners and defense has got to be better on those passes. St. Thomas Moore's not going to change a thing. And as far as Parkston, they're not going to change anything either. What got him here? The run, using Dvorak, using him as the quarterback, as a wideout, using him as the receiver, quarterback, and running back. I don't think we'll see any changes at all.
So Parkston is on top of St. Thomas More, 17-14. A dandy second half set to come your way. Don't forget, tonight it is Yankton and Brookings for the 11AA title. Been a long time since Yankton has won a title. Been a long time since Brookings has been in the Dakota Dome. This place is going to be packed and hopping this evening.
Can't wait.
Yep, looking forward to it.
Individually for Parkston, Wes Dvorak, 9 rushes for 58 yards. Blake Beats, 10 carries for 47. Over with St. Thomas More, Matt Eastmo, the quarterback, 5 carries, 3 yards. Mills, 2 carries for 7. Neither team has caused a turnover yet, right?
Yeah. Remember, there was the interception.
No, that's right, the
set up
interception.
first. Yep.
That's right. The interception.
Meanwhile, Parkston had won the toss and deferred, and so they will get the ball to start the second half. Again, continue to follow us on Twitter and hashtag it SDFootball14. Tim Borman, thank you very much. Good to hear from you.
That's right. Voorhees had that interception for Parkston.
And so we are set to go as Voorhees and Dvorak will set up for the return back at about their own 10-yard line. A little squib kick that's going to go out of bounds, and again, Parkston is going to have wonderful field position to start.
I'm not the biggest fan of those. They didn't want to kick it to Dvorak. They didn't want to kick it to Rands or to
Voorhees
or to Beats.
Yep. So it goes out of bounds, and that's the second consecutive kick that has gone out of bounds. And it will belong to Parkston. They will start at their own 35-yard line. Josh Rands will come out at quarterback, and they'll go out of the wishbone formation. Miles Semler is the fullback. The handoff will be faked. Instead, the rollout by Rands, the throw down the field, well out of bounds.
Good coverage.
Good.
St. Thomas More had Connor Nedved coming in with pressure.
And Grady Grimshaw was putting on the pressure as well. So it will be second down and 10. Want to thank Sarah Mosley watching us in Missouri. That's wonderful. Bet it's warmer there, huh? And Andrew Gross watching us all the way up Highway 19 from Madison. Dvorak with the carry. He'll pick up about 3 yards. Andrew is watching us at Dakota State University. We appreciate that. So third down now, and a long 6 yards to go. And Dvorak will line up at quarterback this time. Again, if you missed the first half, where the heck were you? It was very entertaining. But if you did miss it, then you missed the fact that Les Dvorak will play quarterback, wide receiver, and running back.
Parkston's only thrown the ball 3 times this whole game.
Dvorak will reset his running back. He'll take it himself. Gets a hold, gets a burst, and has the first down. Out to the 48-yard line. A nice crease formed by that offensive line, Craig.
That's a big line. Stadelman, Horseman, Gannett, Lindemann, and Bertram. So a correction on the passes. The number of passes, 5 for the game for Parkston.
So first down, 10 yards to go. Ball at the 48-yard line. Rams back in at quarterback. Hands off on the counter to Semler. He'll muscle up across the 50 to about the 49-yard line. And it will be second down. Give him 3 on the carry.
Looking at some of the defensive numbers there, Mike. St. Thomas More. Hunter Collins with 7 tackles. Travis Mills with 6 tackles. Wes Dvorak, 4 tackles, leading the way for Parkston.
So Rand stays in, but now an official's timeout here. We got an equipment.
Blood again.
Yep.
Got a story about Ben Lieber, who played here in this dome in state title games, regarding playing in the game. I'll tell you about that in a second.
Carter Vincent checks out to get some blood wiped off, and Aaron Moody checks in to replace him. Handoff goes to Beats.
Ben Lieber, of course, played for Vermilion, won a title for head coach Gary Culver, and of course played for San Diego and the Vikings in the NFL. And Ben Lieber on our radio show yesterday. 2 things he remembered about playing in the Dome. Of course, winning a championship, and then the showers afterwards, because everybody would be screaming because all the rug burns that the players would get, and they'd be screaming in the showers.
3rd down, 6 yards to go. Dvorak at quarterback. He moves similar to his right side. Dvorak under pressure. Indicates his player should go long. It's intercepted, I believe. Yes, it is. And coming up with the interception is Connor Nedved. The turnover by the Parkston Trojans.
Parkston is not used to throwing the ball, Mike. And that one was probably an ill-advised throw. And Cole Thurness able to stay in bounds.
Great job there to come up with the interception.
Blake Beats shaking up a little bit on that play.
And great work by the boys at the South Dakota Public Broadcasting. Camera work too. Nice job. Hand off on the counter. And not getting very far is Jake Anderud. He's had a lot more success catching the ball today than he has running the football.
Thurness, by the way, his 3rd interception of the season. So now both teams, Mike, have had a pick.
Matt Eastmo came back over, talking a good look there at Wayne Sullivan.
23 years.
For Wayne?
Yep.
He's held up a lot better than other guys that have had a job for 23 years, hasn't he? Eastmo, the throw. There they find Anderud, and he finds a seam again. And a 1st down for St. Thomas More.
I haven't seen Anderud here in a while. Tell you what, wide open in the flats and some pretty good blocking downfield, allowing him to pick up a 1st down.
And there is a injured player over on that far sideline.
It's an injured Parkston player. All right, let's see what we can find here on the replay, but Anderud wide open. Good blocking downfield. Oh, a big collision there. Lane Conrad, I believe. That was a big collision at the end.
We have seen some solid hits. You're right, it was Lane. He is back up on his feet. That Madison Dell Rapids game was terrific last night. Very physical. Of course, a reminder that you can always go online. Any games that you may have missed, you can order the DVD. Or better yet, order the DVD anyway, even if you saw it.
It's one of the options that Parkston has got to work on is be ready for the spread. Going 4 wide now for St. Thomas More.
Lone setback. That's Thurness. The throw goes to Thurness. He'll make a couple of cuts, get outside to the 44-yard line. He'll come up shy, and it will be 2nd down.
Parkston had nobody on Thurness. Nobody within 10 yards. Look how open he is. There's just nobody on him.
So 2nd down, 2 yards after the pickup of 8. Clock now goes under the 8-minute mark in this 3rd period. Parkston had the ball to start the quarter, but threw an interception.
Thurness wide open again on the top of your screen. No one covered him.
Eastmo, the long throw downfield, tipped away. Coming over to help out from his safety position was Wesley Dvorak.
Easy to see this from a worse sitting Mike, but St. Thomas More had 3 wide open players on that last throw.
Yep. Alec Keegan just can't come up with this one. Has watched Dvorak close with the initial coverage being provided by David Voorhees. Now 3rd down and a couple of yards to go. And in motion, that's Anderud. This time they try to get a body out on him, but he's got a first down and more. Penalty flag, though, at the line of scrimmage. That looks like the neighborhood of holding, doesn't it, Craig?
Yep.
Holding, number 1, offense. 10 yards back from the spot of the foul, and it'll be third down.
So after the throw to Anderud. Yeah, there you saw Thurness trying to block.
So it will be third down and 10 yards to go. Wayne Sullivan talked about it. The penalties. They couldn't have penalties that would stop drives. There's a throw, incomplete. Intended for Alec Keegan. And over his head it goes. So the penalty does bring that drive to a halt.
A little extra mustard on this throw. Keegan probably thought that would come a little faster than what he was thinking it was.
This time, 2 players back deep to receive the punt. Oh, nice punt by Lincoln.
Oh.
And that, look at the bounce this thing takes. All the way inside the 10, inside the 5, down to the 4-yard line. What a terrific punt. And so we'll step aside. Parkston gets the ball back when we come back on South Dakota Public Broadcasting. With Steve Toom and Craig Maddock, I'm Mike Henriksen. Parkston gets the ball back. Nice punt there for St. Thomas More, 59 yards. And so Parkston will take over on their own 4-yard line. Josh Rands will play quarterback. Brady Reef, who is going to the University of Iowa, will line up as a tight end.
Most of the time, wherever he's been lining up, that's the place they're going. They're going that direction.
Handoff on the counter goes to Reef. He'll turn it upfield and bust it out to the 12-yard line.
He doesn't run the ball very often.
6'4", 230, and a senior. That's that counter play that we've seen Dell Rapids like to run through the years. And a good tackle by Cole Thurness. Cole at 5'11" and 170 did the wise thing and went for the legs on Brady Reef. Pickup of 8, second down, 2 yards to go. Counter, Dvorak. He's just looked a little unsure with his footing all day long, hasn't he? There's been a couple of times he slipped down. He picks up enough for the first down there, but...
Mike, I went to the stats we were given by the Parkston staff. Brady Reef, that was his first rushing play of the year.
No kidding.
His first carry.
Well, no time like the Dome to trot it out, I guess. First down, 10 yards to go. Again, Josh Rands at quarterback. Handoff on the right side. And wrapping up his man is Lincoln Feist.
Remember, Lincoln had to come out of the game in the first half, hit some blood on his hand, came out, but he's one of the staples of that defensive front. He's a 290, and you got Montoya, the other defensive tackle, at 230. Trying to stop the run right up the middle.
Montoya, we talked about Feist being National Honor Society. Montoya also National Honor Society, who's on the state baseball team. Second down. The throw.
Oh.
Incomplete. I'm going to give you one of the most amazing stats that you may hear all day. Andrew Montoya took his ACT, scored a 33. I'm willing to bet that the three guys in the booth combined didn't tally 33.
It would probably take me 15 tries.
So third down here and 6 yards to go. Parkston needing the conversion, or St. Thomas More is going to get the ball in good field position. Dvorak keeps it himself, bursts forward. Did he get enough? Where are they going to mark it? I think he just got enough.
I agree.
He did. A big third down conversion for Wes Dvorak. And so it will be first down and 10, and the clock winds under the 5-minute mark in the third period. This time, Dvorak stays at quarterback. He's got the lone setback. That's Miles Semler. Reef lined up as the power man on the right side. Semler picks up just a couple of yards. Can't get much inside. Andrew Montoya, Lincoln Feist, they are just outstanding run stoppers there in the middle.
That last possession, they had 4 down linemen and just 2 linebackers. Where if Dvorak or Semler or Beats can get past the linebackers, there's a lot of yards downfield for them to run.
Second down, 9 yards to go. Clock winds under 4 minutes. Ran, fakes. Now he's going to look for Dvorak long. Little hand fighting going on, and then tipped away at the last minute.
Wow.
Reef was asking for the flag, but I think that was just some outstanding coverage.
That was a fly pattern from the get-go, because Dvorak, along the sideline, he was sprinting from the snap. He did not slow down at all.
And
this
I
was
think
a design fly pattern.
And take a look. I'm pretty sure it's Klaprick that's on him. It is. And Klaprick had the position.
Just a little bit underthrown.
So third down now. They had a big conversion on 3rd and 8. Can they find a conversion on 3rd and 9?
They're 2 of 7 passing.
Dvorak pumps, throws, had a man. It was wide right. He had Reef in the pattern also, but his pass intended for Blake Beats falls incomplete, and Parkston will have to punt.
I think St. Thomas More is fine with letting Parkston pass, because it's something that is just not necessarily something they've been doing all year. Because the throws have been off, too far, too short.
Wesley Dvorak will punt. Furness will receive. St. Thomas More is going to get the ball in good field position.
Hey, nope.
Nope. Oh, and that's going to take a big bounce. Oh, Furness gloves it. Good call by him, but then he is dropped by Voorhees. He could not get ahead of steam. Voorhees was being blocked, but made the tackle anyway. And so here comes St. Thomas More. Matt Eastmo. Neither team has scored here in the third period. It was a 50-yard field goal as you take a look at the return. And that's just a great job by Voorhees.
Well, he fought off the block from Alec Keegan, too. Eastmo's numbers, 11 of 18 passing, 196.
His favorite target has been Jake Anderud as far as yardage goes. Rolling out on the right side. He'll throw it out of bounds. Good coverage on Travis Mills. Mills has the touchdown pass. That time there was excellent defensive coverage by Miles Semler. And so it will bring up 2nd down and 10. We'll have play-by-play for you coming up tonight. Brookings against Yankton. And then, of course, tomorrow night, the big school class with Sioux Falls Lincoln and Sioux Falls Roosevelt. Second down, 10 yards to go. Empty backfield. The throw. Wide. Voorhees had pretty good coverage. That was intended for P.J. Friedel. And I know I'll be corrected. That's one of the things about Twitter and Facebook, etc. But I ran into Pat Friedel prior to the ball game. And pretty sure that P.J. is his son. Forgot to ask specifically, of course. We got talking about other stuff.
That's easy to do.
Exactly. 3rd down, 10 yards to go.
5 wide.
Eastmo rolls, throws against the grain, intercepted. Dvorak went up and got it and came down injured. He had some room to run, but he was going nowhere.
And I don't think that's a cramp either, unfortunately. Yeah, he's unfortunately he
Injury
is.
timeout.
That was a great read. Eastmo just threw that ball up there. Almost pretty. Dvorak made it look pretty easy on the interception, but he did. Yeah, this looks like a cramp.
It does.
They're working on.
Yep. Take a look here as Eastmo has had great touch on some of these passes, just floating it over, but
can't float it like that in the middle, can you?
Well, and Dvorak is again one of these special athletes. The kid can dunk. The kid does all sorts of things athletically.
Well, if he's suffering from a cramp, you and I know that athletes, you can't just get rid of a cramp.
Right.
This is something that's going to be affecting him. Even by drinking some water along the sideline, it could be an injury where it will limit Dvorak in the backfield.
Parkston with the lead. West Dvorak being worked on at midfield, and they will have the football. Will the Parkston Trojans in excellent field position to start this drive. Of course, we can't think about Parkston High School without thinking about our good friends Bruce and Tom Maxwell, who Tom passed away 13 years ago, the longtime sportscaster here in South Dakota. His brother Bruce, such a tremendous supporter of athletics in the state, served as a youth baseball coach and a lot more, and all of his sons that were outstanding athletes for the Parkston Trojans through the years, too.
You're seeing what some of these certified athletic trainers are doing right now, Mike, with trying to getting that muscle loose.
How much has the training improved over the last few years? Well, it's strange that I would ask.
I'm going to be the guy trying to, with hands on the foot.
Exactly.
Trying to bend it behind his ear there.
Coming up this weekend on my show, SportsMax, you'll hear from Trig Odney from Sanford Health. We'll talk about how the training has improved. Meanwhile, more Twitter conversations. The Winter Warriors. Good luck to both STM and Parkston today. Keep the trophy warm. We're coming back for it next year.
I love the smack.
That's right. John Day, Jay Dave from Day and Davies watching St. Thomas More game from Rapid Valley. Love the play-by-play in color. You guys do a great job. Thank you very much. All things sports at 605 Sports. Dvorak is back up. Feel like a New England Patriot versus 49er game. Run versus pass, close game, super entertaining. And again, the hashtag is SDFootball14 or PRK VS STM.
The deal on this, Mike, on this injury is how well can Dvorak get enough liquids in so that it won't continue to cramp.
Meanwhile, this will be, I believe, the first play all day that Dvorak hasn't been on the field. And so they'll go with more of a power look. They'll move Dylan Stadelman to fullback. Handoff goes on the right side, and running hard, picking up good yardage on first down is Blake Beats.
Yeah, they got two good running backs back there with Semler and Beats, no doubt about it.
So pick up at 7.
Line, you got that line that is really good. You lose out on some athleticism, and you certainly lose out on some speed. But still, you got two really good running backs.
So second down, 3 yards to go. Handoff. This time it goes to Semler, and Semler will have enough for the first down at the 42-yard line of St. Thomas More. So first down and 10. Clock rolling towards the 2-minute mark in the third period. It has been a scoreless third period. And a timeout going to be called.
Yeah, confusion by St. Thomas More.
Timeout. St. Thomas More. That's their first of the half.
So first down, 10 yards to go. Again, a reminder, DVDs are available. You can order them if you happen to be at the Dome right there in the lobby. Stop by and see the friendly folks from SDPB. Or you can go online at sdpb.org.
We've seen one record broken in this game, Mike. 50-yard field goal by West Dvorak. Broke the old record for an 11B championship game that was set by St. Thomas More's Dusty Nowotny back in 2006. A 44-yard field goal by Nowotny. In fact, that 50-yard field goal, the longest in Class B state title, 11A, 11AA, 11AAA, and 9-man.
And by the way, I love talking about Dusty Nowotny because his dad, Craig Nowotny, has been out at St. Thomas More for an awful lot of years. But back early in their career, sharing a house were 3 teachers in their first year teaching. Craig Nowotny, Marv McCune, and Steve Keeter. That's a lot of wins that household ended up piling up. There's the handoff on the right side to Miles Semler. He'll get down to the 30-yard line.
Carter Vincent, one of the linebackers of St. Thomas More, coming in to help with the stop. Just a basic little sweep to the right.
Using the power football, that's what Parkston does. Contrast in styles today. Parkston with the narrow lead. Handoff. Falling forward is Beats, the 5'9", 165-pound sophomore. He'll pick up a couple, but it will bring up third down now and a very long yard. Clock nearing 1 minute in the third period. Scoreless here in the third. Conrad wide to the left side. Wishbone formation. Handoff. And a first down spinning inside. Miles Semler gets down near the 20 to the 21-yard line. A conversion on third down, and the drive stays alive for the Parkston Trojans. Nice lead blocking there by the fullback, Dylan Stadelman.
West Dvorak along the sideline, running up and down the sideline, looking pretty good. We might see him again real soon.
First down, 10 yards to go. Ball at the 21-yard line. Handoff. Semler. This time he is hammered down. Good job defensively by Hunter Collins, the sophomore linebacker. I've been impressed with Hunter Collins today, Craig.
There's 3 sophomore starters for St. Thomas More. You got Anarud, Collins, and Fees.
And Parkston is going to let the clock wind down on the third period. A scoreless third period. Parkston inside the scoring territory when we come back on South Dakota Public Broadcasting. With Steve Toom of South Dakota Public Broadcasting working the sidelines, Craig Maddock from Sioux Falls Sports Radio, KWSN. I'm Mike Henriksen from Sportsmax Radio and Calling All Sports. Quarter number 4 underway. The Parkston Trojans looking to add to their 3-point lead.
Dvorak back in the game. Tailback right now.
The handoff will go to Semler. He'll run the right side, has a burst inside the 15 down to the 13. A pickup of 8 yards. It'll be third down now and 2. Parkston has done wonderful on their third down conversions on this drive. They have also eaten up a lot of time, which is exactly what you want to do against a spread offense like St. Thomas More Cavaliers.
Parkston having a lot of success not running Dvorak right now. Are they going to keep it that way?
Josh Rands hands it off to Semler. Semler reverses and dives and got enough for the first down. It will be first and goal. That is just instinct on the part of Miles Semler. So first down, goal to go. He had it bottled up. Take a look. Good defensive pressure.
Good cutback.
Yep, he sees he's going nowhere, cuts back just a half a step and dives forward. So first down and goal. Josh Rands, the quarterback, calls the count. Hands off on the counter. It goes to Dvorak. He'll get down inside the 6-yard line. Second down and goal. Clock continuing to wind here in the fourth quarter. Good look at the head coach, Eric Norton. Handoff. Semler. He got inside the 5, but not by much. Mark it at the 4-yard line where it will be third down and goal. And again, that clock continues to roll. Now under 10 minutes to play in the game. Parkston took the lead at the halftime on a 50-yard field goal by Wes Dvorak. As the gun sounded, now third down and goal. The pitch, left side, Dvorak. Reaching, scoring.
Alex Clapridge trying to prevent Dvorak getting in, but Dvorak had some great blocks to lead, including Dylan Stottleman out there to lead. There's another block by Miles Semler, and then there was just a race to the corner and a reach at the end for Dvorak. See how Dvorak does here on the extra point.
The kick, it's high enough. He kisses that high off the wall, and it's good. And Parkston extends their lead out to 10. And what a drive. 11 plays, 49 yards, and almost 6 minutes off the clock. 5:41 officially.
There's the jet sweep to the outside. And big hit at the end. end of the third quarter stats. St. Thomas More had a total of 207 yards of offense. Parkston, 222. Contrast of offenses, Parkston, 187 of the 222 yards have come via the ground, where St. Thomas More, 196 of their 207 have come via the air.
Let's take a look on Twitter. Been watching Parkston, St. Thomas More for 2 class periods. Still watching at home. Good for you. Jeff Bowenkamp, Cats and Pats fan. Have a nephew coaching, great nephew playing for St. Thomas More. Watching the game from sunny Tucson. Good for you, Jeff. Logan Dosh, we appreciate you cheering on the Blue Cavs to get a win today.
Can St. Thomas More come from behind? Need 2 scores in 9 minutes?
Logan,
yes, they can.
Logan, by the way, was a heck of a player for the Green Cavs up in Aberdeen. That thing's about 3 miles high. Came down wet. Grabbed by Anderud, and he will be wrapped up at the 25-yard line, and Parkston has a player down. That is Blake Beats, who is down on the ground.
I did not see what happened.
I didn't see anything there.
It was away from the play. Could not see what happened.
But again, we started talking a little bit about it on SportsMax this weekend, which airs on 16 different stations. We talked with Trig Odney. Trig he's really been a pioneer almost in the state of South Dakota, and how much things have changed. When he first became a certified athletic trainer, it was just a minor. Now you have to have a major in it, and it's available at 4 different colleges and universities in South Dakota.
My daughter is a certified athletic trainer, and she got her smarts from her mother. But she has also talked about how much, the concussion factor.
Exactly.
The hydration factor. I mean, a lot of that, the dietary parts of athleticism has really come into become much more bigger than when you and I were playing.
Well, and even 10 years ago, when your daughter first started down this path, and it's been, I suppose it has been 10 years ago when she started down this path, isn't it? Time gets away from you pretty quick. But back then, again, it was pretty much sports facilities that you were working at. You were working with teams. Well, now certified athletic trainers, they're used with all of the military. They're used in Hollywood. Yep. They're used, with private companies.
By the way, Trig is on Mike's show. Trig is the one standing with the backpack.
Yep.
In the gray. Well, good to see Blake up here.
Again,
and walking it off here, so that's good.
So St. Thomas More trailing by 10. They will have the ball, first down and 10 yards to go.
Blake is one of those corners for Parkston. So you're going to bring in one of your reserves to take over for Beats, who typically is on that right corner.
First down, 10 yards to go. Lone setback for Matt Eastmo. He'll throw to Anderud. He'll make the catch. And I think that might go down as a rushing attempt. It looked like that ball went backwards from Eastmo, but nevertheless, however they want to stack it up statistically, it's a pickup of 5 yards.
That ball was in the air before Anderud knew it was coming his way, but for 150 pounds, he packs a punch.
Yeah, he's a fun kid to watch. Second down, 5. Matt Eastmo, 3-year starter. Oh, man, what a pass rush, and what a catch. Brady Reeve came on the bull rush, brought Jake Anderud with him, and Eastmo is still able to hit Alec Keegan. Great play by everybody.
That's a timing pattern. He had to wait for Keegan to get out there.
Take a look at the rush.
Oh.
Reeve just took Andrew right into the quarterback. By the way, having Logan Dosh on Twitter, of course, Jared Jacobson was a record-setting quarterback for St. Thomas More, and now he's wrapping up his career up at Northern State University. Nice run by Eastmo. They haven't put the ball on the ground many times, or run the ball specifically, but this time he kind of dances his way through for a nice pickup of 6 yards.
Well, I think Lincoln Feist was helping to push him along the way here. I think number 55, was it 55? No, it was Lincoln Feist helping to push for a few more extra yards. Mike, you got to think, no matter what happens here, if they get to fourth down, it's four down territory now for St. Thomas More.
Second down, 4, the throw, the catch. He gave up some yardage coming back. That was Alec Keegan again, but I think he still has enough for the first down.
Boy, Parkston's really bringing the pressure, too.
Yeah, they've changed up defensively. It is enough for the first down.
Those outside rushes. That was Reeve coming in again with putting his hand up. A little bit of a duck pass. That thing was floating right out there to Keegan.
Just outside of Parkston territory. Parkston with the only score of the half, a touchdown coming on their last possession. Eastmo pumps, rolls, and is tossed to the ground by Brady Reeve. Brady got the hooks on him.
I think that's going to be labeled a sack. So that would be his second sack of the year for Reeve.
It is a sack, a loss of 5. Yeah, we were talking to some folks, you would think that maybe just 1 sack on the season doesn't sound like much, but we were talking to the coaches at Parkston. People spent so much time running away from Brady that they weren't going to allow him to get involved in the play. The throw by Eastmo, incomplete. A nice effort by P.J. Friedel, the 5'10", 150-pound junior, but it was just a little bit too low for him to come up with it. And that will bring up a third down and 15.
Parkston had everybody covered. Good coverage by Parker. That would have been a really tough throw to make.
And so empty the backfield and go 5 wide. Matt Eastmo, the senior quarterback. Drops, plants, throws. Wide open. Keegan, the cat. No, that's Friedel. Touchdown.
I don't know how Eastmo got rid of it. Pressure was coming by Parkston, able to just get it off. His arm was hit while he let go of it.
And Friedel gathers it in, spins away from the defender. 55 yards on the pitch and catch. The extra point is up and good. Parkston with the 3-point lead. They get the ball back when we come back after this timeout on South Dakota Public Broadcasting.
TV timeout.
Year in and year out, the 11B championship has provided some great moments with Steve Toom and Craig Maddock on Mike Henriksen. Parkston gets the ball back, but first of all, the Twitterverse, Craig, what are they saying?
Matt Kearney, we don't want you to leave. Joseph up in Brookings watching, and good friends out at KNBN out in Rapid. Yeah, they're pushing for the Cavs. On that last touchdown, Blake Beats injured for Parkston. He was one of their corners. They went right over to his side, and they took advantage of it.
The short kick being brought up by Voorhees, and a penalty flag it comes in late.
That might be a hold.
Yep. It's going to be a hold, and it's going to be from the spot of the foul. So Parkston is going to have very bad field position to start this drive.
Holding, number 5 on the receiving team. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. First down.
So mark it back. The hold was at the 24-yard line. So the ball will be placed at the 14-yard line. The last time Parkston had the ball, they ate up almost 6 minutes. 11 plays, and they punched it in. They don't care if they punch it in if they eat up another 6 minutes. Josh Rands, the junior quarterback. Handoff, right side, great defensive play. Semler can't get anywhere. And it was Grady Grimshaw with the tackle.
Well, we're getting to crunch time, Mike, where for Parkston, you just want to get first downs to keep the clock running. If you're St. Thomas More, you got to make a defensive stop. If you're going to win this thing, or at least get a chance to win it, you got to get the ball back. And you got to make a defensive stop.
So once again, modified wishbone formation. Handoff, right side, Dvorak. He'll get out near the 20-yard line. So it will be third down now and 4 yards to go. The clock will be winding near the 5-minute mark. There you got a shot at Eric Norton, the head coach of Parkston, glancing towards that clock. Parkston did such a great job on converting third downs on their last drive. They need it here. Both fan bases, many of them up on their feet. Josh Rands. The inside counter goes to Reif. He's got room and a first down. The second time he has carried the ball all year, and it is a huge conversion for the Parkston Trojans.
St. Thomas More was coming with the blitz. They were coming on the blitz, and the gaps on the would have been on the left side of the line. But Reif able to go to the right side. St. Thomas More just choosing the wrong side to blitz from.
And again, the clock now is under 5 minutes to go. St. Thomas More with just 2 timeouts. Rands goes under center. Takes his time. Handoff. That'll go to Dvorak on the left side. He's wrapped up with a gain of about 3. Gets it out to the 35-yard line.
Blake Beats has not returned it to the game after being injured on the kickoff. And Dvorak has done a pretty good job after suffering cramps in the third quarter.
The clock is going to go under the 4-minute mark. Parkston eating up time. Little by little. Handoff, right side, Semler. Semler will pick up about 3. It'll bring up another third down. But again, by the time this ball is snapped, it will be under 3.5 minutes to play. So a big third down coming for the Parkston Trojans yet again.
Semler, his 16th carry now for 48 yards.
Dylan Thuringer checks into the lineup. Lane Conrad comes out. Thuringer will come wide on the left side. Third down, a long 4. Rands. Handoff. Dvorak. First down, and the burst. And then is tossed out of bounds near midfield.
Wow, what second effort. Oh. St. Thomas More had Dvorak. He kept just driving those legs. He got in the first down going backwards.
That is just outstanding effort.
Oh.
And again, possession maintained. 3:07 to play as the clock was stopped as he went out of bounds.
Dvorak now with 100 yards on the day.
Handoff. Semler. Semler runs the right side, doesn't get very far, but second effort, he spins forward and picks up about 3 yards. The clock now under 3 minutes.
Mike, you got to think after this second down play, if the yardage is minimal, you might have to use a timeout here.
Agreed.
Well, either way, whether it's a yard gain or not, if it's not a first down, you got to stop the clock.
Second down, 7 yards to go. Clock continuing to wind too quickly for St. Thomas More. Not quick enough for Parkston. The fake. Rand will take it himself and run the left side, and there's going to be a holding penalty. The holding penalty will stop the clock, and that is going to save a timeout for St. Thomas More.
But Parkston, you're going to get second down again, so you'll get a couple of more plays. You have to take the penalty. You have to move them back. But it still will be just second down.
You're right.
Holding. Number 30 offense. 10-yard penalty from the flag. Repeat second down.
And I'm not sure if that was by design or if Rams just missed the handoff and tried to decide to make some chicken salad out of chicken feathers.
Well, they were overloading the right side, and it was a design play coming the other way. I mean, they had that right side loaded with everybody.
So second down, clock now rolls again. It will go to 2 minutes. Second and 20. Handoff, Dvorak. A little seam, down he goes. They're going to call the timeout. They are. St. Thomas More will use their second timeout as it will now be third down and long.
Defense, St. Thomas More. That'd be the first one of the half.
Well, he said first of the half. I thought they already used one.
They did.
So they only have one left, I believe. Just giving it to Dvorak. I mean, St. Thomas More is putting 8 in the box.
Yes, and now they have changed it. It is official with just one timeout left.
I think we're going to get that announcement from our referee.
By the way, speaking of that, congratulations to all the officials who made it down to the...
Correction, that was St. Thomas More's second timeout.
There you are.
Ryan Young out of Wentworth.
Yeah, congratulations.
Madison crew.
This crew has worked down here before. Ed Fegan is one of the gentlemen on the crew. Ed's son Tony.
Pretty simple here, Mike.
Nice career at South Dakota State.
Parkston gets a first down. It's ball game.
Right. But it is third down and long. 1:51 left to play. I do not think that Parkston is going to put the ball in the air. I could be wrong. They're going to go with the throwback, and it's intercepted. That, my friends, is why I didn't think they were going to put the ball in the air.
Man, they passed that across the field.
A double reverse pass back intended for Brady Reef, and he was covered. And so now St. Thomas More, in addition to no more time going off the clock by running another play like Parkston could have done, they are going to get the ball in good field position at their own 45-yard line. They've got 1:40 and one timeout left.
Cale Landguth with the throw. They were trying to go for the jugular on that play.
So first down, 10 yards to go. Empty backfield. Eastmo looks, finds a man, caught. And hustling to get out of bounds was Alec Keegan. Good job by Alec.
St. Thomas More has not had a lot of success with field goals on the season. If they can get halfway close to try to kick a field goal to tie this thing, not a lot of success. Not a lot of them on the season.
Yeah, but Craig, we've known Wayne Sullivan a long time. The chance that he would go for a field goal to tie instead of going for the win, I don't think very high. Eastmo flushed, turns it upfield, is drugged down, but he'll pick up the first down, and that will stop the clock as they move the chains.
Eastmo's got to run all the way to the side of the field to get the play. It's wasting a lot of time.
Clock is set. Time is rolling. First down, 10 yards to go. Again, they will go with the empty backfield. 5 wides. Parkston. Each team has scored a touchdown here in the second half. Eastmo pumps, no pressure, rolls, now throws, and that came up well short of P.J. Friedel.
Well, that ball may have just slid out of Eastmo's hand. He normally can throw a bullet, but that one looked like it just slipped right out.
It did. And it ate up a lot of time on the clock also. That play, yep. Oh, and it did get tipped just a little bit. Good camera work there by the SDPB crew. Austin Bertram did tip that ball. Nice work.
Parkston's going to take a timeout. Oh, we have an injured.
Timeout. Parkston.
Well, they took the timeout.
That's the first timeout of the half.
They have an injured player along the sideline right in front of their bench.
A reminder coming up tonight, we've got the 11 AA championships as the Yankton Bucks will take on the Brookings Bobcats. Both teams have been waiting a while for a title. I anticipate a huge crowd here tonight.
Well, Luke Julian right there, number 3. He kicked the extra point in this game. We have no stats from St. Thomas More on field goals. Nothing. Here we go. Lincoln Feist. Yeah, they've had 2 or 3 kickers throughout the year, but not a lot of field goal tries.
So St. Thomas More with the ball at the Parkston 45-yard line. They trail it by 3. Second down, 10 yards to go. The Cavaliers with 1 timeout left. Eastmo and a false start.
I'll call that on Thurness.
Flip it, empty right. Flip it, empty right. Same play, flip it.
Dead ball. False start. Number 1, White. Repeat second down.
So move the ball back to 5 yards.
Gadget play maybe in the works, Mike?
Well, St. Thomas More has several of them. You know that.
Did we see a hook and ladder?
And the clock is not running for some reason after the penalty. So actually a bit of a benefit there. The throw through the hands of Alec Keegan. A bit of a benefit after that 5-yard penalty that the clock stopped. And so it will be 3rd down and 15 yards to go. Clock stops on that incompletion. Parkston Trojans urging their fans on to make as much noise as possible. Because right now, St. Thomas More is lining up right in front of where most of those fans are. Empty backfield. Eastmo. What a career he has had. Pressure. Throws. Man open. Caught. Andrew.
And an injured player for Parkston. This will stop the clock. This is going to give St. Thomas more time to get some plays ready.
And this is another cramp. How has Jake Andrew, the 5'9", 150-pound sophomore, gotten this open and made these catches. Now that one he wasn't wide open, and it is Dvorak who is down with the cramp. Dvorak on the touchdown pass to Friedel went for the interception instead of the tackle. That allowed P.J. Friedel to spin away from him and gallop 55 yards for the touchdown.
Anarud, 5 catches for 103 yards.
Now up to 134. That was his 6th catch, 134 yards. Travis Mills has caught a touchdown. There is 55 seconds left. 18-yard line.
Well,
first down.
What's going to happen here? Parkston's already lost Blake Beats, one of their corners. He has not returned due to an injury. And certainly Dvorak is going to have to come out at least for one play on this next play. So so you've lost a corner and a safety for Parkston with this pass-happy offense of St. Thomas More.
Take a look here. Again, good camera work as he just found the middle of that zone and comes up with the catch.
Ismo is 15 of 28 passing for 272 yards.
Again, they continue to work. On Wesley Dvorak.
This gives a chance for St. Thomas More to call a couple of plays. They still have one timeout left. You would think that they're setting up the options of what to do on these next couple of plays.
Yeah, there's plenty of time to discuss what your next couple of plays are going to be. What is it about 11B, Craig?
Yeah, through the years, of course, it wasn't that long ago. Tri-Valley winner.
Oh, that was a dandy.
Great ball games in the 11B.
Yeah, taking a look. Of course, last year 20-14. The year before that, winner Tri-Valley 13-6. Tri-Valley beat McCook Central Montrose 18-14. Flandreau under Chad Statham beat Mobridge Pollock 28-27. Remember that one? Winner beat Tri-Valley 12-6. Okay, then Tri-Valley blew out Groton, but the year before that, they only beat Groton by 6. It's just been some incredible football games in Class 11B. The other thing about this timeout, though, Craig, both these teams getting an opportunity to catch their breath and get their legs under them.
Well, the right leg of Dvorak not getting any better with that cramp. They got that one foot bent back pretty good, and the certified athletic trainer trying to put her knuckles right into that calf, try to bust the knot.
I just have this horrible feeling that I'm going to wake up with one of those about 3:30 this morning. You know what I'm saying? And it's just the worst feeling in the world. Especially when I've done absolutely nothing to earn it. These guys are out here earning these cramps, you know?
We call that Monday.
Exactly. Then you're on your own. You're trying.
I'm sure your wife isn't taking your foot and bending it back like that.
Well, she's not here either. That's the other thing. And you're correct on that assumption, by the way.
Oh, this is taking a long time.
You wonder, does this do anything to momentum here, Craig?
I am kind of surprised that they've allowed it to stay. If it's a cramp, typically you get them up and you get them off the field.
Exactly.
To continue play. So this is taking a little longer than what I have expected.
Yeah, this is longer than what we normally see when it comes to that.
Because it has been
about
almost 10 minutes here, hasn't it?
It's Not quite that long, but it sure seems like it. The good news is you can order the DVD and find out exactly how long the actual delay is. So go online at sdpb.org and find out how you can order DVDs of any of these championships. And don't forget, you can go back and order past championships as well. We were talking about how great those 11B games have been through the years. Go back and order copies of those.
Wow. You know what? I'm supposed to vote on the Joe Robbie MVP, but I can't make a decision yet. Depends what happens with the game.
That's true. That's very true.
I got to wait.
Yep.
They want my ballot, but they're going to have to wait.
And how often has that happened? Again, especially in this particular game,
Mike,
the 11B.
I'm really surprised they're allowing this on the field right now.
Unless it's something more than a cramp.
Yeah.
But the way they're treating it, that's a cramp.
Certainly, again, I am not a doctor, but
Right.
But what?
But your daughter almost is.
Yeah, that's right. Certified athletic training. The cramp is just not going away, so they need to keep that foot bent like that.
Right.
Because if they don't, the cramp comes back, and it's so painful that you can't stand.
Right. But at the same time, so is an ACL, and there have been people who have blown ACLs, and they get them off the field much quicker than this has happened. Yeah, now the teams are actually going back to running a little bit to loosen up.
It does take a little bit of the momentum that St. Thomas More has had.
So, how about those Kansas City Royals, huh? What an incredible run it was as a Kansas lifelong. Well, I can't say lifelong because the Royals have only been around since I was 11. So you can do the math. But I've been a fan of them as long as they've been around, and it was a wonderful spring. All right, let's send it down to Steve Toome for some clarification. Steve?
All right, thanks, guys. I was talking with John Krogstad here. He said this is an official's decision that they have to take the safety of the player into account until he's safe to move, that they stay on the field and they tend to the player in question. So that's why it's taking so long, and thankfully he's up on his foot. Now, you guys remember a few minutes ago when Parkston called timeout, that was Dvorak that was hurt along the sideline, and they were tending to his leg a few minutes ago when Parkston called their first time out of the second half.
Thanks, Steve. Those cramps just don't go away once you've had in the game.
Very true. You mentioned that at the time. All right, so we're back to action. Parkston on top of St. Thomas More. Parkston trying to hold on. A couple of their starters out, specifically their defensive backs, as Blake Beats and now Wes Dvorak out of the ballgame. A pass to Anderud got us here. Eastmo will turn it up the field. He doesn't get very far. And now they will hustle back to the line of scrimmage. Still one timeout for St. Thomas More.
They changed the formation, Mike. Trips to the top of the screen.
5 wides. Eastmo, the senior quarterback, will go for the corner, and it's overthrown out of bounds, incomplete. That will bring up a third down and 9 yards to go, but it stops the clock with 31 seconds.
Well, they had a touchdown pass in that similar area earlier in the game. There was double coverage there. That was a tough throw.
Intended for P.J. Friedel, the 5'10 sophomore who has a touchdown catch today along with Travis Mills. Third down. 31 seconds left. Eastmo, the throw to the corner, well over the intended receiver of Alec Keegan. And as so often happens in 11B, it comes down to one play.
Field goal. Are they getting ready for the field goal, Mike?
I think they are.
They're bringing in Luke Julian. Is that Luke?
Yep. marked the ball at the 23-yard line, so it is a 33-yard field goal. Instead, they will shift and go into the fake. Defense will shift.
And a timeout by Parkston. Oh, man.
That was one of those plays when they shifted into the fake position after it was established that they were going to fake. That was one of those that it took a little bit too long for them, for all of the St. Thomas More players to get where they needed to be. That gave Eric Norton and the Parkston staff enough time to call the timeout so that they could prepare better. I didn't think they were going to kick the ball, and I'm still not convinced that they're going to kick the ball.
Well,
we have seen
Julian is coming back out. The field goal kicker is coming back out. Are they going to try the field goal now?
Craig, we've seen it before. Wayne Sullivan so many times here in the domes. The onside kicks, the fake punts, all of the tricks that he has pulled out of the bag. They haven't always worked, but he's always pulled them out.
Are we going overtime?
Let's set it down here at the 23. A 33-yard kick is up. It is wide left, and the Parkston Trojans are going to win their first state football championship.
It was a good snap, good hold, but he just pushed it left.
St. Thomas More with a great effort today, with a good game plan, with a terrific performance from Matt Eastmo and Jake Anderud and others. They are going to come up just short as Parkston will take the victory formation and wind down the clock on their first ever state football title. Congratulations to Wayne Sullivan and the St. Thomas More Cavaliers. And congratulations to Eric Norton and his staff and the Parkston Trojans. And so both teams will go through the line congratulating each other. And we have some hardware to hand out.
Well, we knew that Parkston was going to run the ball. We knew that St. Thomas More was going to pass the ball. Something had to give. We didn't think it was going to be a missed field goal that would have determined the ball game.
And meanwhile, it was a 50-yard field goal, a record for the state finals. That was the difference in the game. Right at the end of the first half, West Dvorak hits a 50-yard field goal, which would have been good from 55. And the Parkston Trojans hold on.
Individually for Parkston. Rushing, West Dvorak, 19 carries, 113 yards and a score. Blake Beats, 14 carries for 60 yards and a score. And Miles Semler, 18 carries for 54 yards and a score. 55 rushing attempts today by the Parkston Trojans.
That has been their stock in trade.
It is not a record, though. Gregory, just 10 years ago, ran it 62 times in the game. But Parkston did what they did today, rushing the ball 55 times. 248 yards of rushing.
Once again, a reminder, please stay with South Dakota Public Broadcasting. Coming up tonight, Yankton takes on Brookings. Our pregame at 7 o'clock Central and 6 o'clock Mountain Time.
Parkston was 2 of 10 passing tonight, or this afternoon. 2 of 10 passing for 35 yards.
And they had an interception too, didn't they? I believe each team threw an interception.
That is correct. Still going to be a moment here before both teams are ready to do the trophy presentation. Real quick with St. Thomas More. Eastmo was 16 of 31, 303 yards, 2 interceptions, 2 touchdown passes. Rushing, 16 carries, 22 yards for the team for St. Thomas More. Receiving, Jake Anerud, 6 catches, 134 yards for St. Thomas More. That was quite a performance by the sophomore.
That was a great job. What do you say we send it over to our PA announcer, Mr. Joe Van Gore?
Football fans, may I direct your attention to the center of the playing field to present the awards to the 2014 runner-up and championship teams for Class 11B football are Linda Whitney from Sanborn Central and Roger Bordeaux from Todd County. From the Board of Directors of the South Dakota High School Activities Association, assisting with the team awards presentation, our representative from the Activities Association corporate sponsors, Dr. Matthew Boyer from Sanford Health, Nathan Hofer from Farmers Union Insurance, and Sergeant First Class Eric Mashin and Staff Sergeant Katie Lindworm from the South Dakota Army National Guard. First of all, the runner-up trophy, Coach Wayne Sullivan and the St. Thomas More Cavaliers. St. Thomas More finishes their season at 11-2. Congratulations to the Cavaliers. And now, the trophy presentation, their first ever state title. Coach Eric Norton and the Parkston Trojans. The Trojans finish their championship season at 12-0. At this time, the South Dakota High School Coaches Association has chosen an outstanding lineman and back of the game. Coach Ryan Evans will be presenting these awards. For the outstanding lineman from the Parkston Trojans, number 77, Austin Bertram. And now, the outstanding back of the game from the Parkston Trojans, number 10, Wes Dvorak. And fans, members of the media covering the championships, select the Joe Robbie Most Valuable Player Award. Representing Sanford Vermilion is Mary Merrigan to present the award. Our Joe Robbie MVP rushed 19 times for 113 yards and a touchdown, had 1 reception for 6 yards. On defense, had 5 tackles, 1 pass breakup, and 1 interception, and a Class 11B record 50-yard field goal from Parkston, Wes Dvorak. There will be a welcome home celebration for Parkston at the Parkston Armory at 8 o'clock tonight. Again, welcome home for Parkston at the Parkston Armory tonight at 8 o'clock.
And so congratulations to the Parkston Trojans on their victory. I just want to clarify one thing. I know Steve Toom is standing by with Eric Norton, but I need to clarify one thing. I got a nice note from an official friend of mine, and I was curious why the clock wasn't starting at that 1:02 mark after that false start. The reason was because a timeout had been called prior to that. And so consequently, that's why that was right. And Chris, thank you very much for the note. I just saw it. Let's send it down on the field to Steve Toom.
All right, thanks, guys. Coach, congratulations on the victory. Parkston finally claiming its first football championship. How does it feel to finally get that monkey off your back?
I'm just so proud of these guys. They've worked so hard throughout the years, and just happy with how they've played. They've really worked hard, and it's about them, and it truly is. And it's a surreal feeling, but it's great. And right now, I just can't wait for those guys to really understand how big of a deal this is.
Let's go back in time when Wesley Dvorak was out there on the field for that extended period of time. He's getting his leg tended to by the trainers. What are you telling the rest of the team?
We just had to do what we have to do, make sure we maintain, do our job, and trust each other, and we'll be all right.
You've had some big performances. It wasn't just Wesley Dvorak. Talk about these other young men that contributed to your victory today.
That's really been one of the keys to our season. We've done a great job of going from player to player and playing as a team. And, they're just a real tight group. And, again, can't say enough about how hard they worked tonight.
Coach, congratulations on your victory. Go celebrate with the team.
Thank you.
Eric Norton, the head coach of the victorious Parkston Trojan in a dandy of a football game, 24-21 over St. Thomas More. We'll be back with more from the Dakota Dome in a moment. This is the 11B Championship football game on South Dakota Public Broadcasting.
It was a terrific game, and the St. Thomas More Cavaliers come up just short to the Parkston Trojans, 24-21. Craig, let's take a look at some of these highlights from this afternoon.
Big plays throughout the ball game today. Eastmo, boy, nice scramble.
Yep, Dvorak there.
And that was where Eastmo was able to get it to Keegan, and that was a sustained drive near the end of the ball game. But this is the touchdown by Dvorak. Parkston leading 24-21 at the time, or 24-14. And then here was on that one drive,
P.J. Friedel
took it to the house.
And then it was Parkston just converting and converting. Came down, though, to a field goal, and it was wide left, and Parkston was able to go into victory formation. And let's send it down from South Dakota Public Broadcasting, Steve Toom on the field. Steve?
All right, thanks, guys. Wes Dvorak, congratulations on the victory today for your team. First of all, how are you feeling right now?
Oh, I'm pretty sore, cramped in both calves. It's pretty tough. It hurts a lot.
But I'm sure the thrill of victory kind of eases that pain.
A little. It's getting there.
Now, when you were down on late in the game, they're driving and you cramp up really bad there. What are you telling the trainers there as they're tending to you for that extended period of time?
Oh, I'm telling them, stretch me, stretch me, stretch me. That baby hurt.
Now, a few moments before that, you were over on the sideline and you cramped up there, and Parkston had to call a timeout. A few seconds later, was this just an aggravation of that?
Yeah, yep. The first one I cramped in the left calf, and the second one cramped in my other calf.
Now, last year you guys played a very close game against Canton. You lost that game. How much of a motivation was that to come back this year?
Oh, that was big. We know how it felt losing, and none of us liked it. It just gave us more firepower.
What about that St. Thomas More team to play? Have you ever faced a passing attack like that?
Not necessarily this year. St. Thomas More, they're a great team. They're really tough, and I guess this is the first major passing team that we've faced this year.
Wes, congratulations. I'll let you go celebrate with your team.
Thanks.
Wes Dvorak, your Joe Robbie MVP winner for the Parkston Trojans. Let's send it back upstairs.
All right. Thank you very much, Steve. And again, the Parkston Trojans pick up the victory over St. Thomas More. We'll be back to wrap things up from the Dakota Dome right after this timeout on South Dakota Public Broadcasting. And welcome back to the Dakota Dome in Vermillion. Craig, let's take a look at some final statistics from today's game.
Just exactly that we thought. Parkston would do well rushing. St. Thomas More would do well passing. Total yards. St. Thomas More had the advantage. 2 interceptions, though, by St. Thomas More. Parkston, big performances from Dvorak, Beats, Semler, and Reef on that offensive side.
And the time of possession was huge by Parkston as they were able to chew up enough time to bring it down to a last-second ball game and hold on. The 11B champions, the Parkston Trojans. And we'll be back to wrap up our day at the Dakota Dome, get you set for this evening right after this. Thanks so much for joining us. Again, congratulations to the Hamlin Chargers who pick up the state title earlier this afternoon, and the Parkston Trojans will be back on at 7 o'clock Central, 6 Mountain Time, as Brookings and Yankton will battle for the 11AA title. Thanks so much to Nate Weck helping us out up in the booth, to Steve Toom down on the field, Craig Maddock, I'm Mike Henriksen, and the great cast and crew doing a wonderful job behind the scenes. Thanks for joining us. We'll talk again this evening. Of the game brings up first down, 15 yards to go. Mark the ball back at the 35-yard line. Eastmo hands it off to Anerud. Anerud spins forward for about 3 yards or so. Move it out to the 38-yard line, and it'll bring up second down and 12.
Anerud, he's about like me, 5'9", 150. He's just trying to find...
It is remarkably similar.
Just trying to find somewhere to run on that left side. Got nice yardage.
So second down, 12 yards to go. Yeah, it's uncanny, as a matter of fact, now that I look. This time, quarterback draw. Eastmo will fall forward for about 6 more yards. Going to bring up third down and 7 yards to go. Eastmo, one of those kids that you just love to have in your school. He's student body vice president. He's a member of the National Honor Society. Had an outstanding career, 3-year starter at quarterback for St. Thomas More.
It's also key for Moore to keep the ball alive, sustain drives. Because Parkston averaging 40 points a game, they can score quickly.
Eastmo drops back, looks to the left, throws through the hands of the intended receiver. Would have been enough for the first down.
Alec Keegan. Well, that was right on the hands.
And so, after one play and one first down, it is a punting situation.
Maybe the biggest punter we've ever seen in the state football championships.
Lincoln Feist, 6'3" and 290.
Averaging 35 yards a punt this year.
And does it left-footed. Dvorak will watch it bounce. It'll check up at about the 20-yard line and is down at the 19. And so the Parkston offense will take over for their first possession of the game. Again, we talked about Wesley Dvorak, the 6'2", 175-pound senior. Wesley is scheduled to start at quarterback. But again, they'll line him up as a running back. They'll line him up as a wideout. They have a lot of diversity in this Parkston Trojan offense. This time they'll go with the power formation. Dvorak will hand it off to the first man through. That's Blake Beats. And Beats will pick up about 3 yards.
St. Thomas More's got a really good defensive front four right in the middle with Montoya and Feist. Could be pretty tough running straight up the middle.
Second down, call it 7 yards to go.
That time they challenged it right up the middle. Only got 3 yards.
Splitting out wide to the near side is Lane Conrad. This time more of a wishbone set. And off goes to the second man through, and that is Dvorak, who lined up as a running back.
Yeah, they brought Josh Rands in as quarterback. I'm sure Parkston, I would have assumed they're going to show St. Thomas More a lot of different formations here early.
That's what they've shown everybody so far this year. Pick up of 5, so it's third down and just a couple. As the Parkston Trojans looking for their first down of the afternoon. Ball was bobbled, but a penalty flag is down. Let's take a look at what this call is.
I think Parkston moved early.
That might have been a break for Parkston.
False start, number 77, Blue. Repeat, third down.
It was a false start, and it's a good thing because Josh Rands ended up fumbling that ball. Josh is the 6'2", 175-pound junior. And now he will check out, and Dvorak will go back in at quarterback.
Yeah, that did just pop right out. Aware, though, with it, and Rand's able to recover it quickly.
Beats is the setback. Dvorak takes it himself, muscles his way near the first down, but I think he's going to be short. Let's see where they spot this.
He has to get to just shy of the 30. He's going to be about a half a yard shy.
Indeed he is.
I think that was about the 4th different formation we've seen so far.
And so now Dvorak will drop back into punt formation. St. Thomas More going to send Cole Thurnis back. 5'11", 170-pound junior. And a lot of bodies on the line of scrimmage. That punt is away. Thurnis will call for the fair catch at the 36-yard line, and that's where St. Thomas More will take over. First down and 10 yards to go.
When you have a player who can kick and throw and pass like Dvorak, just opens up so many options you have offensively. He does them all real well.
So here comes St. Thomas More with their second possession. They had a first down and a penalty.
He can do it all.
And he'll line up at multiple positions this afternoon.
Defensively, big up front. Horseman, Lindemann, Reichert. And defensively, 14 sacks on that defensive front. 6 interceptions for Parkston. It's going to be a good one.
And so there you see the Parkston lineup. We're back to the Dakota Dome after this timeout on South Dakota Public Broadcasting.
Free statewide broadcast of this South Dakota High School Championship event is brought to you in part by the thousands of members of the Friends of South Dakota Public Broadcasting, by Farmers Union Insurance, by SDN Communications, and by the Independent Insurance Agents of South Dakota.
With Craig Maddock from Sioux Falls Sports Radio, 1230 KWSN. I'm Mike Henriksen from Sports Max Radio and Calling All Sports. Steve Toome from South Dakota Public Broadcasting is on the sidelines. Year after year, 11B is a grind to win, and we have seen some classic championship games at this level. We're looking forward to another good game this afternoon. And to introduce the starting lineups and get us underway, let's send it over to our PA announcer, Joe Van Gore.
Football fans, the South Dakota High School Activities Association, along with its corporate partners, Sanford Health, First Premier Bank and Premier Bank Card, Farmers Union Insurance, Billion Automotive, and the South Dakota Army National Guard welcome you to the Dakota Dome in Vermillion for the 2014 State Class 11B Football Championship game between the St. Thomas More Cavaliers and the Parkston Trojans. Much too often, we are exposed to the examples of poor sportsmanship. That is why the South Dakota High School Activities Association is sponsoring a statewide effort to promote good sportsmanship in our schools. You can be part of this effort by displaying good sportsmanship during the state football championship game. Let's introduce the cheerleaders. First of all, for St. Thomas More, Hannah Williams, Morgan Lowenberg, Caitlin Wolf, Lauren Sanders, Corin Bertolot, Elizabeth Hampson, and Josie O'Meara. And now leading cheers for the Parkston Trojans, Brooklyn Schoenfelder, Carly Teedy, Sierra Stans, and Haley Bilas. At this time, we will introduce the offensive lineup for the St. Thomas More Cavaliers. At center, number 69, John Hansen. At right guard, number 56, Andrew Matoya. At left guard, number 52, Brady Schmidt. At right tackle, number 55, Lincoln Feist. At left tackle, number 58, Carter Vincent. At wide receiver, number 83, Evan Henderson. At wide receiver, number 1, Cole Thurness. At running back, number 13, Travis Mills. At running back, number 11, Jake Anarud. And at quarterback for the Cavaliers, number 10, Matt Eastmo. The Cavaliers are coached by Wayne Sullivan, assisted by Craig Nowotny, Doug Morano, Rick Bromer, Joe Gutierrez, Dan Cooper, Tom Merkwan, Ryan Speed, Nick Durham, Jeff Peckney, Brent Thurness, Mike Hoddle, Kevin McGuire, John Bonenkamp, Mike Smith, and Nick Fees. And now, the starting defensive lineup for the Parkston Trojans. At the nose, number 75, Caleb Horseman. At defensive tackle, number 54, Tanner Reichert. At defensive tackle, number 74, Tanner Lindemann. At outside linebacker, number 43, Brady Reef. At outside linebacker, number 77, Austin Bertram. At inside linebacker, number 31, Miles Semler. At inside linebacker, number 55, Dylan Stottleman. At cornerback, number 35, Blake Beats. At cornerback, number 15, David Voorhees. At safety, number 22, Lane.
It's the Dakota Dome in Vermilion, the site of the South Dakota High School Football Championships. I'm Craig Maddock from Sioux Falls Sports Radio, AM 1230 and FM 98.1 KWSN, along with my good friend Mike Henriksen, Sportsmax Radio, and Calling All Sports. And Mike, we've got the 11B championship coming up. St. Thomas More, the Cavaliers, coming out from West River to take on the Parkston Trojans.
Yeah, these two teams met last year in the semifinals. Parkston obviously advancing to the Dakota Dome. Meanwhile, St. Thomas More, they are the only representative from west of the river in the Dome this weekend. And they were on a roll there for a while, Craig. They were regular attendees, but it has been a while since they've made it back. They do not have a state title, and they are looking to take care of that today against a very talented and athletic Parkston team.
St. Thomas More made 4 straight trips to the Dome back in the early 2000s, but this is their 6th trip. 6th trip to the Dome. You're right, Mike. They have not won a title and trying to get that first one here tonight. You know, they made 2 trips to the Dome when they were in Class 11A, and then 4th trip now being in the division of Class 11B. Also, St. Thomas More has the distinction, Mike, of being the only high school in South Dakota to play 9 regular season football games. Everybody else played 8. When everybody else had a bye on their schedule, St. Thomas More went down to Nebraska to play a team down there. And so they played 9 regular season games.
And so we've got Parkston and St. Thomas More ready to kick it off here for the 11B championship. We'll be back to take a look at these teams right after this timeout here on South Dakota Public Broadcasting. Okay. We never heard the open, guys. Got it.
Is Steve ready with Wayne Sullivan?
I can go get him if you need me to right now.
Yeah, let's start with STM.
All right, let's go. All right, I'll have Coach Sullivan. He's on his way. Stand right.
The only coach that has run over to see Steve Toon.
That's right. He's excited about it.
I'll ask you about your season so far and some of the key players that have carried you this far.
Okay. All right.
And then what do you expect out of Parkston? All right.
You going to go right to Steve?
All right, I got to talk to the truck here a moment. Yeah, I can't hear Brad if he's talking to me at all or anybody else. I can hear Craig and Mike.
Yeah, he's...
Oh, okay. There you go. Thank you, Brad.
Okay.
Okay, no problem. Yep,
all right.
2 more, switch.
Okay. 15. Welcome back to the Dakota Dome. I'm Steve Toom here with the St. Thomas More head coach, Wayne Sullivan. Coach, congratulations on making it to the Dome. Tell us about the young men on this team that have carried you to this championship game.
Oh, thank you very much. We're very excited to be here. You know, we've got a great senior class, starting with our quarterback, Matthew Eastmal, 3-year starter for us. Been doing very, very well. And again, our big guys up front, you know, Lincoln Feist, Andrew Montoya, Carter Vincent. Those guys have been our big workhorses for us, you know, and then Travis Mills, our running back. And then we've got some young guys, some good young speed on the field today. Jake Anerud, you know, Zach Deal, Alex Clapperich, you know, I mean, so we're excited about getting on the turf and spreading it out a little bit today.
Let's talk about your opponent, Parkston. What do you expect to see from the Trojans?
Smash mouth football. You know, they got two of the best athletes in the town and the whole state of South Dakota in Dvorak and Reef. That's evident by the battle we had last year in the semifinal game. You know, we're going to have to contain those two athletes. And then Semler, their big, tough running back, you know, and you can't go away. They're big up front. They're big up front. Oh, my gosh. So, you know, it's going to be a smash mouth on their side. So we're going to have to try and contain that run game of theirs and putting them into passing situations.
Now, what is your team going to have to do offensively in order to win?
We're going to have to catch the ball today because we're going to spread it out. We're going to have to catch it, move the chains. No turnovers. We got to make sure we get the ball in the end zone when we can, and you know, do the little things right today. You know, no penalties that'll kill a drive, and again, do not turn the ball over.
Coach, thanks for your time. Good luck today.
Appreciate it. Thank you, guys.
Wayne Sullivan, head coach of St. Thomas More. Let's send it back upstairs to Mike Henriksen and Craig Maddock.
I've missed Wayne Sullivan. He is just one of those coaches that is never going to give you the stock answer. Everything that he thinks he's going to share with you, and we appreciate that. Let's take a look there. Rapid City, South Dakota. On the south side of the city is where you will find St. Thomas More High School. There you see the Cavaliers, sometimes referred to as the Blue Cavaliers because we have a few Cavaliers across the state of South Dakota. Notre Dame Fight Song enrollment 9 through 11. Of course, that's their ADM is 190, which is what all of the classifications are based on. Take a look there, Craig, at their lineup or at their schedule. They played a very solid schedule.
Yeah, their only loss was at home against a pretty good Winter team. Winter's kind of had their number the last couple of years.
They have.
Winter never got the chance to go back to play them in the playoffs because Winter got beat by Bonham. But St. Thomas More disposed of Bonham in the playoffs. And, of course, getting here to the Dome for the 6th time.
Let's take a look at the starting lineups for St. Thomas More. A reminder, you can find us always at sdpb.org.
Well, their offensive line, John Hanson, Brady Schmidt, Andrew Montoya, Lincoln Feist, Carter Vincent. The tight end is Evan Anderson. The wideout, Alex Keegan. Quarterback is Matt Eastmo. Look for Travis Mills. Excuse me. And Jake Anerud to play a big part of this offense, Mike, that's going to be in the spread. This is going to be a big contrast between these two offenses because St. Thomas More is going to spread out that offense and try to do what they can to get rid of the ball before that big defense of Parkston. Defensively for St. Thomas More, it's a big front four: Cameron Feast, Andrew Montoya, Lincoln Feist, Grady Grimshaw. The linebackers are Travis Mills, Aaron Moody, Hunter Collins, and Carter Vincent. And then back deep, Jake Anerud, Cole Furness, and Alex Clapperich. 23 interceptions by that St. Thomas More secondary, but I don't know if they're going to get a pass today because, you know, Parkston's going to want to run the ball.
When we come back, we'll take a look at the Parkston Trojans. You're watching the 11B Championship on South Dakota Public Broadcasting.
Free statewide broadcast of this South Dakota High School Sports Championship is underwritten by the thousands of members of the Friends of South Dakota Public Broadcasting, by Mid-Continent Communications, and by Dakota Bank.
And welcome back to the Dakota Dome with Craig Maddock of Sioux Falls Sports Radio, KWSN. I'm Mike Henriksen from SportsMax Radio and Calling All Sports. Steve Toom, our sideline reporter. The Parkston Trojans come in undefeated, and we had a chance to chat with the coach of the Parkston Trojans.
Been a great season. We've gone through pretty uneventful. Started off the season with a win over Groton and then just continued to build on that. Big game at the beginning of the season was the winter game. Went up, played a great winter team, and played a great game against them. And come out with the win off that. That really helped build the season up, and then we just continued to take it one game at a time and working straight forward. And it's just been a very positive season all year long. We've had some injuries early, but they all got back, so we're doing great right now and hoping to move forward. The biggest key is just playing team football. We've got a lot of great players, but it really has been team effort. The line has done a great job opening gaps, backs get through those gaps and get down the field. Defensively, we floated the ball well as a team. It isn't that there's one guy making all the plays. It's a team effort, and that's really been the biggest key, the line and just being able to play as teams and then have individuals really step up and have some big games for us. Defensively, we're going to have a good game in the backfield. Our D-backs are going to have to step up. We're going to use some other guys, possibly at times with Jordan McKean will step in at times to help us out. Ethan Murtha will be stepping in to help us out there. And then offensively, our line's really going to have to start controlling stuff up front and give us the gaps we need for our running backs to get through. The community has been great all year long, so has the school. We've had their fans have been behind us the whole way. They've been excited for us the whole way, great support. And, you know, even after this last game, there's just a ton of support out there, and we couldn't be here without them, and we really do appreciate it.
Some great highlights there from the win over the previously undefeated McCook Central Montrose Cougars. Craig, let's take a look at Parkston Trojans, located in beautiful Hutchinson County, straight south of Mitchell on Highway 37.
Looking for that first title. They've been here twice. Of course, last year they lost to Canton.
123 in the enrollment totals.
Look at that perfect schedule. Very quality wins against Wagner and Bonham. Starting lineup for the Parkston Trojans. That's a big offensive line. They're going to go to the right side with Horstman and Gannett. And then in the backfield, Wes Dvorak. You see, he could throw the ball, run the ball, kick the ball.
Conrad. And at safety, number 10, Wesley Dvorak. The Trojans are coached by Eric Norton, assisted by Sean Spurrell, John Gilman, Chad Dodozi, Craig Bruning, and Chase Lingeman. Football fans, your officials as assigned by the South Dakota High School Activities Association. The referee is Brian Young of Wentworth. The umpire is Jimmy Matteries of Madison. The linesman is Ed Fegan from Madison. The line judge is Tim Dockendorf of Madison. And the back judge is Craig Fowler of Madison. The alternate is David Hunsley of Madison. Football fans, direct your attention to the rafters above the Dakota Dome, where the South Dakota Army National Guard will be repelling today's game ball. Repelling is Sergeant Matt Kleinschmidt of the 211th Engineering Company. The South Dakota Army National Guard would like to thank the USD Army ROTC program and Lieutenant Colonel Ross Nelson for their assistance in repelling down the game ball. And now, Presenting games ball and a ceremonial coin for excellence for the championship game coin flip is South Dakota Army National Guard Senior Enlisted Advisor, Chief Master Sergeant James Welch, formerly of Parkston, South Dakota Army National Guard Chief of Staff Colonel Bill Friedel of St. Thomas More, and Sergeant First Class Eric Maschen from Parkston. The soldiers of the South Dakota Army National Guard salute today's players, coaches, and fans for exemplifying excellence in high school activities.
Parkston has won the toss. They've elected to defer. St. Thomas will receive and defend the north goal. Good luck, men.
Let's go! Let's go right now, right now. Everybody in the red. Everybody in the red. Everybody in the red.
Mike, we're going to see a big contrast in play here, Mike. Parkston, they want to pound you. They want to run the ball. They don't pass a lot. Although St. Thomas More will want to try to spread it out. I think it's going to all come down to that offensive line of St. Thomas More. Can they give Eastmo enough time to throw the ball today?
Yeah, Eastmo is a terrific quarterback. You heard Wayne Sullivan say they were going to open it up, run that spread offense that I think Wayne Sullivan has run since it was invented. He might have had something to do with the invention of it, as a matter of fact. But it is going to be contrasting styles. Dropping back to receive the kick. Anderud will drop back, as will Klapperick. Back to receive the kick from one of the most versatile athletes you will see in the Dakota Dome this weekend, and that would be Wes Dvorak. He is a terrific kicker, including a couple of field goals over 50 yards. The kick is away. Klapperick will take it at the 10. And knocked down at about the 24-yard line. So that's where St. Thomas More will take over.
St. Thomas More has a very large left side with Montoya and Feist. If they're going to run the ball, you would think maybe they would like to go to the left side, but Eastmo is going to be the key today. Almost a 1,600-yard passer.
They will spread it out. The setback is Anderud. One man in the slot. He goes in motion. That's Cole Thurnis. The throw, caught. First down. Out to the 40-yard line. On that catch is Travis Mills.
Dylan Stottleman with the tackle, but that's what you're going to see, Mike. You're going to see the slants of those slant receivers. Perfect throw. Nice yards after catch run, and good way to get started in the championship game.
So first down, 10 yards to go. One play, one first down. Thurnis goes in motion.
Maybe a little too excited to get things going.
Dead ball penalty, false start, number 58 White.
Yep.
Still first down.
You can only have one guy in motion at a time.
Parkston was showing blitz. Brady Reef was ready to blitz on that outside. That linebacking core of Parkston with Reef, Stottleman, Semler, and Bertram. They've had sacks, they've had interceptions, they've had tackles for loss. A very aggressive linebacking core.
So the first penalty